Hey there, boys and girls of YouTube world. Today, the Theo dog and I are going to see if we can't drive this 1991 Chevrolet R3500 crew cab dually from, you guessed it, Pot County back to Podunk. Theo's already got the hood open for me. He's giving us a tour of this thing. If you haven't checked this video out already, go check it out in Puddins Fab shop. He got this thing going. I think the neighbors parked it because they said it had a bad flex plate. He put a starter on it, fixed it. Him and Slick polished up the paint, bodywork. They polished up the alcoas. It's got pretty good tires on it, but I think I'm gonna put some new tires on it. We gotta put a battery in it. We should maybe find the right battery hardware. Is that metric? No. It's got a 454 AC we should get working because it is swamp donkey hot down here. Puddin, I don't know. He's dropping the Cosby kids off at the pool, taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, talking to his architect about adding on to his pool or another addition to the shop. Maybe he should get my bedroom finished so that I have to not sleep on an air mattress. But anyway, we should check, see if the other fuel tank's working. He hasn't really been driving this thing around, just a little bit around town. This is the last year, the squarebodies, 91. It's got tilt, cruise, AC, all that stuff. Ooh, we should get the cruise working, or test it at least. It's got a Pioneer stereo that he says works. A couple cracks in the dash. It's got a tear in the carpet. It's got these terrible, I don't know, conversion seats like all of them got. We're definitely putting new tires on the rear because these bedsides or fender flares are unobtainium. Fun fact, I got one of these. It's a flatbed, and it's a flatbed because they blew a tire and it was cheaper to put a flatbed on than it was to fix the fender. And then the Cowboy Cadillac's got one fender that's pretty torn up. I didn't really need this thing, but it's super dry. Gave me an excuse to fly down and hang out with old Puddin and drive back and maybe pull something cool back if we can find something while down here. Because this thing's got a receiver on the back and it's got a B&W turnover ball on the rear so we can do gooseneck things. He's got a Peloton here because old Slick's been training for BMX racing. Speaking of that, go check him and Charlie Smith out. They got their own channel, OK Speed and Custom. They're just getting started, so swing over there, subscribe, check their videos out, give them some feedback. They're new at it, but they're doing a really good job. Oh, we might have to get rid of that hideous sticker or put our own on. The window tint, it needs redone back here, and it needs done up there. It's got these cool vent shades. This thing is just way good compared to all the ones we got at home. A couple scuffs on the fender. It does have the caps back here, but none up here. Oh, we'll have to hit up the lug nut, guys. Get that missing lug nut. Maybe get some ones that are got a little more chrome on them. And then we need some caps for the front. I'm guessing it's been repainted because there's a little Bondo work going on there, but overall, not too shabby. We need to get some battery hardware because, yeah, we can't be stacking washers, and we're missing one of them. Looks like he was filming a video for the, there's the other one. For the O'Reillys, all these bigwig YouTubers got their Super Start battery sponsors. We got to get our own from you guys. Speaking of that, if you want to be a battery sponsor, go check it out. Mortske.com. We got some sweet merch. Speaking of Cowboy Cadillac, we got Cowboy Cadillac tees. We got a few in stock. We got the ADD Coupe in stock. We got the Mortske and Duff shirts, which I'm wearing right here. And we got the wagon t-shirts. Plus we got coolers. We got magnetic koozies. We got magnetic screwdrivers. We got super scrapers. We got decals. We got banners. You name it. We got it. Ooh, we might even get some, once I round up flyers over down here. And if we can, we'll ship those with banners. I will let you know. All right, let's get a battery thrown on this thing, see if it fires up. Oh, look who decided to show up.
Showing up about 5 pounds lighter, too. I bet I could jump 3 inches higher.
Whew. No Taco Boy?
Fish fry last night caught up to me.
I was just telling them how all my heroes are sponsored by O'Reilly's. Well, really, you're my only hero, so that's what I meant. O'Reilly's doesn't sell the right bolts for batteries. What?
Hold on.
It's red and it's positive.
If you want your sound system bumping on the way home.
Is there really an amp in this thing?
Mm-hmm. Sounds pretty good too.
Did you leave me your Queen Latifah?
Beastie
CD in there?
Boys.
Is that what's in there?
No.
Ah,
I got you excited.
License to Ill. Well, if I need a 3/8 washer on the ride home, I'll be set. Did you fix the leak?
Mm-mm. I don't even know why that's underneath here. Don't worry about that.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
Where we're going. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Serpentine setup even.
She's got everything you'd want for a square body. She's as modern as you can get from the factory. Fuel injection.
It's probably the very
serpentine.
last one to roll off the line.
Selling you $1 million truck for just the 30 grand I'm selling it to you for.
Hey, but he's taking payments. He's taking payments. He's so gracious, giving back to all his supporters.
Most dealerships do 12.6 interest rate, and I'm hooking you up at 9.7.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. He doesn't have a title for it, so I mean,
The lights.
he can't steal it back.
The lights do not come with it. We got to pull those out.
Speaking of lights, have you checked to see that any of them work?
Absolutely not. Oh no, I did. Yeah, even the
Chicken chasers work?
it's good.
It's good.
I took pictures with it outside the car wash, lit it. Yeah, that's going nowhere. You will be good.
It's like a paint can. You got to shake it up before you use it.
Luckily, this thing rides freaking amazing.
So we're gonna lower it.
Yeah, it's not gonna. That's why I'm getting rid of it. Actually, is because I like this truck exactly how it is. I don't really have the heart to do.
A heart? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start crying now?
No. I didn't want to not ruin the truck. I just kind of like it as is. It's kind of like them women who make bad decisions when it comes to dating men, where like if the man don't have problems, they're not really interested. We spent like 2 days on this, and it's a pretty good run and driving truck, and I'm like, I don't got enough problems for me to be interested in it.
Follow Puddins Fab Shop for more dating advice.
That's it.
Let's see if it busts off. Theo, get your nose out of the fan.
He don't need it.
What's under there?
Nothing.
It's a rat. That's what's in there.
He's convinced animals live underneath every single vehicle. And about the time I get him convinced that they don't, he finds another one under a vehicle, and he has a problem.
Here, let me clip this on. We should probably put some brake fluid in it.
Nah. Give you the honors. It's yours now. Well, that ain't true. You ain't paid me, but in 12 months, it'll be yours.
Fuel pump cycling.
That's a start.
Oh yeah, there's a key with there's an issue with the ignition switch.
Not with starting, just with.
What a guy. Gave me an eighth of a tank of fuel. 251,000 miles? Holy crap. Must have been a lighter red at one point. Did you see this thing was like fire truck red before?
Yeah, I can't tell exactly what was ever going on with all the paint. How many miles?
251.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't discuss that before you bought it.
Made me fly down here for a 250,000 miles square body. Everything's worn out on it.
It runs good though.
Yeah, it does.
It may make it back to North Dakota.
We should probably rip that off and put a poly or a quadrijet or something on it. Oh yeah.
Go drive it around and she'll sell herself. It really is like enjoyable to drive, or it was. It's been sitting for a month or two.
You think you hate it now? Wait till you drive it.
You think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it.
So,
I
oh look at
probably
this.
have
Even it came with an iPhone holder in
what I said.
1991.
They were ahead of the times.
What a deal.
I
Well, you
probably
could-
got a new cluster that we can swap in and change the mileage on this thing real quick.
Whew.
You know.
Gold-plated hinge? Like, what's that for? Oh, it's the latch. I thought it was for like your cigar holder or something. Ooh, that is bougie right there. You put the big gulps in there.
You get you a wife with 5 kids, flip that baby up, y'all can all still fit.
Or you get the pre-wife and then she can use her imagination. What do we got? Butt connectors. Oh,
Fuses, you may need them.
you might. You're gonna have to guess what they're for though. LED dome light? Where is the headliner?
They had stickers for headliner, and I spent the time to rip all them out and get all the residue off because it looked tacky.
Speaking of tacky, I see you put one of your stickers on the back window.
Had to. Why do you think it was priced so high? There's your sound system stuff.
No way!
But the toggle switch, I don't think actually turns it on and off, so I'm not sure. But that's your bass knob right there. Have you not seen the system in this thing?
And that's your auxiliary port?
Have you not seen the sound system?
No.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
It's actually pretty good. Check it out.
Woo!
I mean,
Rockvilles?
other than the tacky little angle bracket to hold it, that's pretty good quality.
Oh man, there's speakers everywhere.
And it's hid. When the seat's flipped up, you don't even see it. When you do see it, it don't even look bad.
Well, they did a pretty all right job.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know this was in here when you bought it?
Nope. Nice little surprise.
This was on my list of things. I'm like, that's a long drive home with no radio.
Underneath the seat was so much stuff. It was like 4 sets of new windshield wipers. Like, just stuff kept coming every time I'd reach underneath there. And most of it was like helpful stuff.
It wasn't like empty Monster energy drink cans and empty Marlboro Reds and
No, it was pretty good stuff.
gummy worms that were stuck to the carpet.
We hit the lottery back here. I think I got it all out. Plenty of room underneath here for spare parts if you need.
As he pulls a rubber chicken out.
I'm kind of regretting selling this thing to you. It's good.
I'll sell it back to you. Ashley even kind of moderately approved of it.
No, Ashley was like, "Oh, I like that truck," and that's the first time my wife's ever said that about anything.
Didn't she see like,
even
but how's the
know me.
interior?
Did she?
No, I thought she said like, how's the interior? And you're like, it's actually
good. Carpet kit and a couple cracked dash pad replacement, whatever, you'd be good.
What are you putting up another shop or what? Suppose a guy could sand this down a little bit, put a bed liner in it. That'd really clean it up. That explains why it's kind of rough out here or nice out here and rough in there. It's because it's got 250,000 miles apparently. Thanks for telling me that.
Exactly what I like about this truck is from the outside, it's nice where you can be proud of it, but really it's rough enough where you can drive it and work it, and you're not going to feel bad if you scratch it, or you're not going to dent up this already dented floor. As far as like putting it to work, I think this one would be perfect. The reason I decided to sell it and keep old Whitey is the day after I got it going, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, and my trailer was already on the white truck, and if I didn't have 4-wheel drive, I would have got stuck that day. And I was like, if I was in this thing, I would have buried it up, and I would have been in I've not been happy. This thing rides a million times better than that white truck.
That's
That is okay.
okay, Lahoma.
Triple ball hooker. She's in.
Was that on it too?
Yep. Locked on. It's yours for life.
That is I think the old slice and dice can get it off there.
Yeah. We could probably mount that. Yeah.
Add that to the list.
We need to get you some inserts. They got holes for something. We got the trim. Diamond plate.
I was thinking like some pinstriping in the middle. What did you call this thing?
The Western Holler.
No, you had a better name than that. Some San Antonio.
Oh, the Oklahoma Lullaby.
The Oklahoma Lullaby. That's what it is. So we'll get Oklahoma Lullaby pinstriped
You
it.
just say the San Antonio Strangler.
The Oklahoma Lullaby. I was just telling him how Slick's preparing for the BMX Nationals. So you got to have this thing over here for him.
My wife won a virtual reality set and traded that to her friend that won that at some.
She doesn't even like real reality, so virtual
So now I
reality.
get to roll it around and act like we're going to use it one day.
You'll use it in a video.
Just kidding.
Since these lights ain't part of the deal, where do you want them? Hung from the ceiling and wired
I'm
in?
gonna say if you could just install them on that small shop over there.
Just this small shop. What is that thing? Like a 80 by 200?
You still got more. Hey, all right. Everyone thinks I got this massive shop. His OG shop, I'm not even talking about his outhouse of a 40 by 60 square footage combined. His original shop is still better or bigger than all the square footage I got. So don't even. The small shop is 32 by 28. Then the other side's the big shop. What happens when you lick this red wire?
Jimmy Warner's electrical service.
No, these were actually paid professionals.
You can tell by the multiple colors.
Yeah. I don't know. That could be cleaned up a little bit in my humble opinion.
Is that the camper hookup?
Yep. Just slide her underneath the door, and when that fills up with water and floods that, just hope for the best.
It's got the buoyancy panel.
Got some fishing bobbers on each corner to help it float.
Make sure to comment on his video on how the roof of his van needs a paint job. Jeez, that's terrible. Don't you think, Theo? This thing needs a roof rack.
Hey, look what I got at the taco for someone left for me. I'm a junior deputy. But
Elk
look,
City Police.
They've got get out of jail free chips they give you. So I bet they gave me 2.
Where is Elk City at?
I don't know, but I'm keeping these in the creeper bait just in case.
Just in case. Not a van guy, but that thing actually turned out pretty cool. It's super handy being a 1-ton and all that room in the back. He needs a skid steer, do some dirt work around here. Big drop off there, huh? Theo? Look at that vanity I got for my bathroom though. Woo! Suppose we're gonna have to install that while we're here. We don't actually have to do any work while we're here because he pays people for all that stuff. Electricians, plumbers, painters, concrete. Well, I guess we have to hire that part out, but spray foamers, tiling. Yeah, he's got everybody on the payroll in Pot County. Professional dog groomers, painters, body work. He hires it all out. Pool cleaners. You can go hang out by the pool, Theo? All right, see you after a bit. Well, I was gonna back it out of the shop for you guys, but the ignition switch is not doing ignition things. I ain't even made my first payment yet. You wanna show me how to jump start this thing, Theo? He does kind of look like I was gonna say a hood dog, but Duff is a hood dog. He just looks like he's from the hood. Now watch this thing work. There's on. Nothing. I think we got to adjust the switch down there. I'd show it to you, but there ain't much room down there. She's definitely a 250,000 mile pickup. Look at this brake pedal just worn right off. We got our 2 bolts holding this thing in place. And there should be a switch that's run by a rod at the bottom of this column.
Rod.
This is real sticky.
Rod Knock Rick. Never did it to me when I was messing with the truck. It was just since I parked it over here. So for me, it never was sticky going on. It wouldn't shut off.
You see the rod moving? Yeah, and it's, there you go. Don't want to come off.
Need some looby dooby? I'll soak the whole damn thing. And it's bonus air freshener. Puddins Fab Shop looby dooby. It's got a hint of cherry. Smells good.
No air fresheners. No rear view mirror. We're probably gonna need one of those. If
You know, when
drive 13 hours home. Whatever happened back there's in the past.
Yeah, when you're leaving Oklahoma, you don't look back.
You should call O'Reilly's. They got like a tool, compressor tool to take this steering block BS out, and then I think there's a screw in there, and then we could take all this out and looby-doo it all up properly like. I lost you at proper.
Yeah, compressor tool. You just hope that sucker don't snatch you when you pull it off there, don't you?
Deep socket and a big hammer.
That's how I took my last one apart. That one never went back together.
Freaking miserable.
So I sold it to you. Tired of it.
You break it, you buy it. All right, we're gonna give her the old locking pliers override. If I could see what I was doing.
Get your eyeballs on.
Tech tip of the day, TSA does not like when you carry your knife onto the airplane, or attempt to. What the French?
They didn't have no suspicions about the $40,000 cash you had?
That wasn't even a big deal, it was the other items. 60% of the time it works every time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
That'll surely get you back to old North Dakota.
I'm gonna need one of these locking pliers with the truck too.
Just put it in your pouch over there.
My man purse, my satchel. We're gonna need to fix these power windows.
Nah. Reverse burnout. She's got brake lights. That's better than half the stuff I own. She sure looks good. Too classy for me. Just pings the pole. Don't run over my weeds.
Who puts a guard right behind their overhead door?
Hush it. Tailgate's a little shaky.
You get this kid out of a cereal box in 1991.
It's all still there, I think.
What is this?
No. You asked for a steering wheel puller.
Yeah, exactly. What is this?
She's a do-all puller. If she can't pull it, no one can. If she can't give it a tugging, you ain't gonna get no loving.
All right, I found one bolt.
See? You have what you need. Oh, my pieces.
I don't like that one though. Definitely not that one. It looks like we're gonna have to go with that one.
She's gonna get you there.
It either will or it won't.
You need a spacer for that?
We got spacers too. Tools to order when I get home.
What's wrong with this one?
Steering wheel puller.
I told my channel the only reason I have him down is he comes down and hates the redneck crap I have, and then I get free tools out of the deal. Every time after he leaves here, Amazon packages show up for 2 weeks. He's like, please just have this on standby for next time I'm down.
So I don't have to ever do this again.
And then I gotta move the crap around and get it out of my way.
Yeah, so I told him I ordered an air hose reel last time, and I said, oh, if you ain't gonna use that, I'll just haul it back in the pickup with me.
You send me a nice one, and I'm like, I usually don't use those.
You're like, did you send this air hose reel to me? I'm like, yeah, I don't like those.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan. If I liked them, they would have been in this shop.
Found out the driver's window does not roll down, or the passenger window. And also the AC most likely doesn't work, so we're gonna need to fix that because
You're being pretty
8:30 in the morning and I am sweating.
You're being pretty generous with most likely don't work.
All right, next size. Is that the one? Giggity.
Giggity, 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 giggity. Say,
oh, that is a nice steering wheel puller right there.
Just say, come on, baby, don't make me look bad in front of my friends. So you like that steering wheel puller, huh?
Well, it beats the alternative. Oh, you think Dollar General's got any Beastie Boys CDs?
Walmart does.
Ooh, so we went to Target the other day with the missus. And the people watching at Target in Oklahoma is top notch. So I can only imagine what Walmart must be like down here. The loaner knife.
You can't go to Walmart.
I was gonna say you're not getting this knife back, but it's definitely staying here or getting thrown out the window. How do you take this piece off? What's your problem?
That's what these are for.
There we go.
Yeah, hooks on the edge. All right.
So now we need the tool from the O'Reilly's that pushes down on this plate, and then there's a snap ring in there. We take that snap ring off, and then everything comes out. And there's a bolt that holds that tumbler, and we take the tumbler out and we lubricate all that, and hopefully it fixes it. And if not, there is a little bit of adjustment on that switch for the rod and the steering column. You ain't got one of them tools, do you?
Nope.
I didn't figure. I got one, and it's probably only been used twice now. Fixed it.
It'll be rolled down by the time you leave.
By the time we get to Tulsa. Anyway.
Careful now. You want to go back up or not?
Hey, and yours works too, even. Kind of.
Yeah, real good.
How about the locks? Yeah, we don't need those. They just clunk, whomp, whomp, whomp. So since old Puddin doesn't have the steering wheel lock removal tool, he's calling the O'Reilly's right now, and we're trying to determine what else we're gonna have them deliver. Must be nice to have just a whole O'Reilly store you're calling Beck and just bring it on over.
Anything you need, King Puddin, let us know.
Do you have them pick up like hot girl summies and daylight donuts?
Swing through town, grab my taco boy.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Get yourself a couple tacos. Get yourself something nice.
Whatever you want. Get one of the Mexican Cokes. All right. Well, Puddin continues to look for the title for this thing. I'm just gonna keep throwing more time and money at it, and hoping that he finds it so I can purchase this thing from him. Theo's gonna contently chew on his bone. We're gonna pull these wheels and tires off and take them to the tire store because old Puddin doesn't have a tire machine. Lucky. And then we'll throw these in the man van and get some new ones mounted and balanced. See if the old 20-volt D-Walt's got enough oomph. Oh yeah. How are we gonna need that? Gone forever.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Well, that's handy. Some got washers, some don't. Never really messed with these Alcoas, but they got a bolt with a shank on it and a washer. Everything I've messed with on a dually has got just a tapered seat. And these are 9/16-18 right-hand thread, so I can get the lug nut guys to get us some nice shiny ones. Maybe get the kinds with the bullet on the end or a big old spear. Since she's got 250,000 miles, been sitting a few years, we should probably take a look at the brakes and wheel bearings too while we're at it. Brake pad's got some material left. Wheel bearing seems all right. Brake hose ain't all weather checked. Steering seems tight. Good to go. Even got some nice shiny yellow Monroes up front. What's this? Oh, spark plug boot. We don't need that where we're going. God dang, did this guy even grease this thing? What a deal. Ready to rock, Theo. Wonder if he's got enough extensions to pull the rears off. No luck, but you found me a welding cap.
Good news and bad news. You don't have no paperwork to make it legal, but O'Reilly's is here with the tour.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Got our wheels and tires off, ready to go to the tire shop. O'Reilly's showed up with our steering wheel lock puller dealio. The brakes are not good on the front, but good enough apparently.
Only of the highest quality.
It's a lifetime warranty.
They will honor it.
Yeah, the pads on the front here are pretty much smoked, but we're gonna forget about that because we're not gonna have to stop between here and home. I guess the old 454's got a little too much sauce. Sounds good.
What about this?
Oh yeah. What are you trying to do to this truck?
Do you hear it? Ding, 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 ding.
It's fine. Once it warms up, everything expands.
I like it.
Go hump the other sides. Let's see how that works. Take it out to dinner first.
She matches the other side just about right. You got a little more brake pad on that side than you do this side.
Yeah, there's like none left on the outside on this side.
That side don't spin as good as that side. But like you said, we heat up, heat up, everything starts flowing a little better. It'll be good.
Take it out on a date first, they'll be good to go.
You just do the bearings on the side of the road in Nebraska or something.
Mm-hmm. You got a spare scissor jack out in your junkyard I can take with me?
Got a bottle jack.
Oh, that's an upgrade.
I just found it. I put it over there and said, we'll put it there until I forget I have it.
All right, let's rev into a steering column and try to get an ignition switch working, because if that don't work, we just got to get it running and not shut it off, and I don't think I can afford to leave a 454 running for the next 3 days. How are the belts on it? Plenty good.
Yeah.
Good enough for the girls we go with. What's that ground? Why don't we use that ground cable?
Because we ain't got a top post. She's got dual option for your grounds.
So many grounds.
You only got one option for your positive.
Oh, we forgot to get battery bolts from O'Reilly's.
You did pretty good.
Plus this way I got spare washers for the road trip home. See manufacturer's manual to avoid firing airbag. Talk about a surprise if you did that. Just tighten it up. Pop a bag in your face.
Down. Oops.
That would be good. Thread that into there. Guessing we need like a 1/2-inch wrench and a 13 millimeter. And we push this in and there's a little clip in there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Seal picks. Did I buy those for you one trip too, I feel like?
Yep.
these, or did you lose them like that 1/2 inch extension I got on the last trip?
Hey, I'm gonna write you a list of what I could use.
Okay, yeah, Puddins wish list.
I had seal picks. You just didn't like my seal picks, so use the seal picks that you like.
So I like the ones with a handle and a tip on it. What kind do you like?
Anyone that gets the job done.
Anyone that gets the job done. So I just took the wheels off of this thing, and we only have 1/2 inch drive extension around here. So I remember ordering some. Or I didn't remember. Puddin says, yeah, you ordered some last time. I had a 4-inch one, but I think I lost it in the junkyard.
It's not lost. They found it for me.
We just gotta go back and
I
get
just need to pick it up.
Okay.
Let's be honest. By now it's on one of their pull apart trucks and it's being used. It belongs to them. You don't go reclaim it within a week.
Add that to the list. 1/2 inch drive extensions.
That was so much easier than the way I did it.
A deep socket and a hammer.
And a prayer.
Now what?
Phillips.
This is the crappiest Milwaukee screwdriver knife combination ever. There, now it went in. What the French? I use one of these knives daily, and I couldn't bring it on the plane, so I borrowed one of his, and this thing is just absolute dog crap. Amazing you get anything. Yeah, I'm glad you're videoing this so we know how to put this thing back together.
Yep. See, this is why I would have put it on a toggle and then a push button once we made it to this point.
I like how you'll spend like 3 weeks making light outlet covers, but when it comes to like wiring up an ignition switch, you're like, ain't got time for that.
Priorities.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Y'all can say what you want about my hackery, but look at my real deal builds. Ain't nobody done more wiring on one than the Travelall or any of that. That thing's 100% new.
Yeah, because you drug the trailer wiring 3 times on the way to Austin and back.
Not the trailer wiring.
Wasn't it the trailer wiring from the Travelall? Tomato. It was hooked to the Travelall, so it got secondhand wiring issues. Oh yeah, and then the station wagon that we also took down there.
Yours that broke down and left us on the side of the road? We're in the busiest part. We're right by Fort Worth, downtown, where we're in traffic. It's super busy, and Mortske's wagon decided to break down again.
You know, I'd rather have it here than I-35 in the middle of Dallas. Never mind that one, but the wiring was fine. It was an electrical issue. But remember when Brent was here and we had to fix the lights on the...
That was a freak accident.
Wagon. I almost had a freak accident in the Travelall on the way down. Oh, I wish we could have got that on video. That was wild.
Driving like damn Dominique Toretto with trailer on.
There's always room for family.
Remember that?
You boys ever seen someone drift a 20-foot trailer with a Model A on the back?
I don't remember all of them, but remember the one where they're like in Venezuela and they have a crew cab dually like this with like super singles, and they're stealing tankers, like guys are pulling like 7 tankers up. And they like pull up behind one of these and like flip it around backwards and like slam it up to an hook on. I'm like, impossible.
The sad part was, I think that was the first one, and that was like the most practical scene they've ever done in their life. That was practical. From there, I stopped at like number 2. Can you see the magic screw to release the tumbler?
Yeah, it's right there. It's a Torx. Do we have Torx screws?
Did you send any out?
No. Don't you have a spare steering column for one of these?
Something like that. You got that real short extension somewhere?
Oh my God. 1/2 inch drive T12 Torx.
Like I said, priorities.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get the breaker bar to get this loose.
Did it work or not?
Wow, I just about pried the teeth off of this ratchet.
Did it work or not?
It worked. Are you kidding me? A 1/2 inch drive T20.
So I can't remember exactly how I came up with this set, but it had something. When I was in the Air Force, I had a toolbox you could pick up and carry. I mean, it's tiny, and I was doing like engine swap on my C10 and this and that, and there's something that had an Allen, and no one had the proper size Allen,
but the bolt I had with me, and I realized it could fit on one of them or something, so I don't remember. I've had them since, so I think it's that's actually sticky.
No, I don't have a real good feeling about this, unfortunately. So all this does is there's a drive at the end of it. This is basically just a tumbler that locks it from turning. And there's a drive at the end of this, which drives the pinion gear. And then there's a rack that goes back and forth, that slides back and forth, which is hooked to a rod, which is hooked to a switch at the bottom of the column. And for some reason, it's not doing the things that it...
The tumbler's crunchy.
It's not great.
But we can get one of them, no problem.
Well, that's the problem. The key says 4 GM cars, and this here is a truck. It just don't turn far enough. I wonder if that rack is worn out. I can't imagine in 250,000 miles it would be worn out. We'll just take the steering wheel off every time we want to start it and then do one of these. That don't even work. For a guy who ain't got any tools, you got some nice snap-on needle nose. It'd be a shame if somebody took them back to North Dakota as an ignition switch.
A subscriber gave those to me.
Ignition switch fixed.
Real question is, did you feel the torque of this baby shaking when she fired it?
Oh yeah. All of the big block horse torques. So I guess we're gonna order one of these from the O'Reillys. Or past tense. Did we order one from O'Reillys?
No.
Oh.
We can. I'm just the parts getter today.
I don't know if this is OEM or not, but she says Mexico on it. You boys like Mexico?
You boys like Mexico? Yeah!
So I don't know if somebody's been in here. Oh yeah, the keys don't say GM on them, so I think somebody's already... Hopefully that fixes it. Man vans are where it's at. You can live in it. You could do
everything.
Mobile storage. You can peddle merch.
Hide candy.
Kidnap children. All right, it's almost lunchtime, so we're gonna go drop these off at the tire shop. Can I talk you into some Taco Boy, maybe?
You really have to twist my arm.
All right, let's do this. Brand new trailer hitch. Woo! Woo!
Gotta keep her off the subwoofer.
It's got so much room in the cup holder, you can just throw a whole hitch in there. Black ice. Wow. That goes really well with your bedazzled jeans and your American Fighter Affliction shirts.
That I don't know. That smells good.
I was gonna say, I just got a huge whiff of that stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he gets to eat at Taco Boy for free, but, you know, so he's kind of... He's on the payroll there, but if you're ever in Podunk, Pot County, Oklahoma, Red Dirt, whatever we're calling this place, go check it out. Good people, good food, good atmosphere, easy accessibility. You don't have to be within 45 feet of a porta potty after you eat it. It's pretty solid. Don't take that the wrong way. All right, let's go drop some tires off, get them balanced. Eat some tacos. All right, here we are at C&W Tire slash. We're gonna see if they can get them mounted up for us yet today. Looks like they got a lot of activity, so hopefully they can fit us in. C&W Tire slash. They must have used to do brakes, but they don't do brakes. Oh, they're a Goodyear dealer. They got some sick dubs out front ready to go for you. Look at that. Oh, Leo brought it out to us. We got treated right. Some Savage Nutrition, some Hot Girl Summies. Brought it right out to the truck, so we don't even have to quit working.
Are we clear? Your side.
Looks good. Dang, just throws you back. Bounce your head right off that Mexican blanket. Just about finished up the Taco Boy. Susie Homemaker's having himself a real sparkling water with real squeezed fruit. Mmm.
Warning, contents under pressure. I've been under pressure my whole life.
Just like you. The O'Reillys brought us a lock cylinder, a mirror, and
donuts.
Not Daylight, just the other kinds. Nickerson Exhaust Solutions. Made in America though, what a deal. Let's see if this fixes it. Does it look right? Yes. Yes, it does. Exact application match. Speaking of application match, what's that? Did you match some paint? Is that Puddins Fab Shop?
Lubricant.
What?
Oh, it smells so good. You smell that?
No, I can't smell nothing. The allergies are already getting to me.
Here, nostrils back.
Shooting it straight.
You want me to lube up them brakes so they spin better?
Just smear them down real good, all over the surface of the rotor. What is this stuff? What gimmick are you selling us here?
It's looby dooby.
Why is there no label on it?
Because I don't sell it unless it's good. So these are my trial cans.
You gonna sell looby dooby?
Me and Sweet Patina are doing a collaboration. It really smells good.
Does it?
Like really, really good.
As good as Croyle?
Can you not smell that?
No, I can't smell it. Doesn't smell as good as Croyle.
Cherry Coronado in here now.
Coronado?
Whatever that flavor was called. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's a thing.
Flavor of what?
Air freshener.
Oh.
I don't know how you can't smell that. It literally smells like cherry air freshener.
I'll take your word for it. Get yours at puddinsfabshop.com.
That's not available.
No longer available.
You can get you a t-shirt or hat there probably. Maybe.
I'll tell you how good it works in a minute here, maybe.
We may have to blame it on the installer.
No doubt. Well, what the French? Should we spit on that?
Spit on that thing.
Can't hurt, right? If my ignition starts on fire on the way home.
Oh, it's definitely gonna smell like cherry.
It's definitely in the
here.
carpet now.
It's definitely gonna smell like cherry in here.
We're throwing this carpet in the trash anyway, right?
Why? This good carpet? Why would you get rid of this?
We're gonna get top notch to stitch that together for us.
Oh.
And it turns off.
Oh. Oh.
It's like when you let off it. I think the switch is bad too.
I think we're just
gonna leave it though. You see it's you got it all the way ahead.
You got that adjusted all the way back down there?
Yeah. All that torque just wants to rip this thing right off the lift.
I just feel like that starter about to shear them bolts every time it just
Oh, is there regular bolts in it?
perhaps.
Okay, let's just put this back together and forget that you mentioned that, I guess. Let me grab my 1-inch drive T20 torque socket. That is just the silliest contraption ever. Straight out of O'Reilly's in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Probably.
I feel like that didn't come like O'Reilly's. Like what's lower than Harbor Freight? What's the Wish version of Harbor Freight? Timu.
China.
Snap. Okay, that's good enough.
Get that 1/2-inch impact on it. Be a man.
Be a man.
I'm a man.
So last night we had this like church supper event, fishing. Oh, they had fried fish and chicken. And there's this kid running around. I don't know, what is he? 8 years old? 8 years old?
4.
Anyways, running around with his shirt off, just screaming for like a half hour straight. I'm a man at the top of his lungs. He was just happy to be out of his cage. I'm a man. What are the odds this thing works again? Not my problem. Is that what you just grunted?
I think so. That was Morse code for piss off.
The finishing touch, the wonderful Jesus clip of doom that I don't know how I'm gonna get back on there. So it's probably just gonna be rolling around inside the horn cap.
Use them fancy. Oh, horn still works.
Should have checked that before. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. How are you proposing getting this clip on?
Them fancy little. You sent me.
Got it. Put the icing on the cake here. It's almost like the steering wheel's upside down, like somebody put a new steering box in this thing and got the steering wheel 180 degrees off.
It can happen. I've heard it happens.
Allegedly.
So if you turn that key on where it unlocks and you turn it till it's straight up and down, upside down, I mean, the wheel. No, your other way. Right there, where it's upside down. Yeah, you're kind of fairly straight-ish out here. What happens if you just take that Chevrolet off and turn it upside down?
Just put some blue painter's tape over it and write it on there. Chevy. Like a rock. Like a rock.
Did you get her adjusted a little more?
All right.
All right. This one's going to be free on the house. Go ahead, give you some free door lubricants. Oh, so much better. You know, it smells like cherries. Hey, you need me to lube this crack back here?
Probably gonna need some silicone for that. Crack spackle. All right, steering column's all back together. Ignition works good. Turns it off even. That is a plus. What are we gonna work on now, Theo? I guess we're gonna go up on the roof. Try to find a leak in our nice new building. Don't even have the plastic off the windows yet. You playing with your black cock up there?
Big black cock.
You know how I know? Because the way that it's in and around your mouth. The first ladder wasn't tall enough?
I got multiple if you want some.
Tub and tile construction. Is it nice and warm up there on that black roof?
Don't feel too bad. Not as hot as you'd think.
It really ain't that bad out. We need to find out what those crows got going on over there, because there's a lot of cawing going on over there. There's a whole murder of crows. You better set your owl up over there. I'm gonna go hide inside where it's warmer. Let's see if we can find this exhaust leak. Glad you didn't go anywhere, Theo. You barely keep your eyes open, but you can wag your tail. Well, that even might be a bit much. Talk about a lazy dog. If you're like me and didn't really watch the first video of this thing, let's take a look at the bottom side. It's got a pretty sturdy receiver hitch. Big old nasty sway bar. We did check the diff. We should probably tie the old breather tube up to where it is supposed to be. It's got coilovers, because that's what you need. That's for all the towing capability. Oh, we can unplug that 7-pin where it's connected to the 4-pin and make that hole bigger, so that we can screw that in place for the trailer hitch. It's got overload springs. I don't know what this is. Dana 60, 70, 80, corporate 14 bolt, something like that. Nothing but the finest Pot County exhaust, just dumping directly on the rear end. I'm sure that's why they cooked out the pinion seal. I can't see why. Like, don't dump it down or angle it out, or heaven forbid run it straight out the back. We'll address that when we get her home, get them to boom tubes. It's got some welded mufflers. They're in pretty good shape. Looks like somebody put the lift on this fuel tank at one point. Definitely was not me. But yeah, 4L80. She's a little greasy. The pressure washing king could have probably pressure washed that while they had it out, but never mind that. Some mismatched new hardware because the original stuff got lost, no doubt. Power steering, he put a new steering box on it. You could tell by the way that it is, and pitman arm. It looks like we need a sway bar bushing. And before that went out, it leaked all over everything. And I think the steering wheel's upside down, so we should take that loose, spin that 180 degrees, and get the steering wheel the right way, because that's a long ways to drive with it upside down. Other than that, she looks pretty good. Frame looks straight, not all rusted out, not a bunch of mismatched hardware. Floors are freaking solid. These guys don't have to deal with rust like we do, apparently. Oh yeah, real good. Hanger bearings nice and tight. U-joints are all in phase. Good stuff. Fresh fuel filter. Alrighty. Nothing to see here, really. Ooh, they're even legit Flowmasters. Whew. We got treated right. See up on the roof playing with his cock, Theo? I'm going to lift you up the ladder, send you up there. What's that noise? What is that? Oh yeah, we're gonna look for that exhaust leak. New starter, non-starter bolts. So hopefully those don't give us fits on the way. And yeah, there should be a donut there, and he just put a gasket on both sides. But the hardware is new, so let's take that off of there, put some donuts in, and then not have an exhaust leak.
$346 minutes later.
Mary Poppins is down from the roof. Look at these neat donuts. They're flat on the one side with this guide, and they're tapered on the bottom.
And these won't do the job.
Turns out, but they're the nice topper. They're the good ones.
I put them on there, so when I took it apart, one of these fell out, and so I looked up and they showed these available or a donut, but on the donut, I just seen the tapered side, and that wasn't tapered, so I'm like, that ain't gonna work. I didn't think these were gonna work either. Obviously, they did not. But if you get the donut and you check it out, actually it is what you need.
So yeah, we got the taper on each of our pipes. Get that little bell right there. And then they're flat right up in here. Look at that Cyclops. Where'd you get that? How many trips ago did I send that to you?
My buddy Mortske sent them to me. The people are watching like, has he bought a single damn tool he has? Not hardly. We've just been
the list got longer while you were up on the roof too.
We just been raw dogging life here.
Yeah, so that surface is flat. So this thing will slide right in there.
Does it fit in there good?
Not real good, but
maybe good enough.
It'll maybe good. This side, that guide is still in there, so we'll have to get that fancy snap-on guide removal tool out.
Oh, that feels a lot different than that one. So they get you. Always changing it up.
But that should fix the exhaust leak.
Perhaps.
It either will or it won't. You gonna bust my knuckle or what? Peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, disappointment.
Yeah, I was hoping for blood.
Drama. I was hoping you'd hit your head on that brake caliper on your way out.
How's that one fit? About the same?
Yep.
Loosey-goosey? How's the taper fit to the pipe since they flared that?
Oh my God, that is a terrible flare. It probably didn't help that it was cranked up tight into a flat surface, but
whoever did that. You gonna mix some of this fresh stuff with that coffee in there? Yum yum. Decaf. How are you loosening that for?
So I can make the steering wheel
straighter than you?
Ba-dum-bum. Get a pry bar, we'll spin that thing.
Are those wheels straight? Do we need to get them straight first?
There will be no eagle-eyeing.
I eagle-eyed it last time. You seen where that got us.
Sitting at a stop sign yesterday, he's like, yeah, that's how I found out I was blind. We probably shouldn't have you driving.
Close?
Looks pretty good there, yeah. Oh yeah, close enough.
We'll start it up and see if you fix your exhaust leak.
Give her a whirl.
Way better.
I'm blind. No, you're blind, I'm deaf, so.
And you can't smell.
And yeah. The whole pickup's just flexing and the bed's just sitting still back there.
If the whole lifts the rock and don't come and knocking. Good thing we got that exhaust leak fixed. That's the only reason I wanted to sell it. And luckily for us, we can't find the paperwork, so I guess I'll keep it now. See if
Got it.
See if we can knock the seal out of this new gearbox. I had a seal leaking. So close. Yet so far away. Oh, it's coming. I think if we yank on it, it'll pop off.
Oh. Woo. Now spin that wheel straight before we do anything. Right about there?
Tappy, tappy, tappy.
The good news is your screw ups make for job security for guys like me. Engineer.
Engineering.
Fabricator.
Designing. Torque test.
I don't know how to put things back to stock. That steering box is no good, so I felt like I needed to put the steering wheel on upside down.
Cheating through college to get a piece of paper.
And here we are, both at the same playing level.
So here's a little pro tip for you. When you do these yourself, the gearbox, which is what I did, I had indexed our steering wheel how I needed it, and I'd put a piece of tape on it to kind of hold it there, so then when I put it on and everything, apparently that tape didn't hold. So use 2 pieces, because it...
What kind of tape is the ideal steering wheel holding tape?
Blue masking tape. You usually want to keep about 3 of them around, just depending on the girthiness of your steering wheel, you know, other factors that an engineer would probably have to sort out.
Does it work better with padded steering wheels, or, you know, 61 Impala steering wheels, or padded dashes, steel dashes?
It probably works better on ones that you ain't been grabbing the steering wheel with your greasy hands and then the tape.
So brand new steering wheels, got it.
Perfect.
Metal flake steering wheels, you could use a magnet.
That's engineer stuff right there. Engineers in town. First time a set of calipers been out in this shop since we moved out here.
All right, I stuck the mount for the, what you call it, mirror on the windshield. It's plastic. I've never seen a plastic one. The glue is like Elmer's glue. Ain't got much faith.
That thing's falling off before
we even get back and hang the mirror on it, it's falling off.
I was gonna say before you get out of Puck County for sure.
So it's blue painters taped steering wheel holder in place.
You didn't want a new air filter with a 6-inch lift kit?
Oh no, that's the high mileage filter. That thing will go forever.
There's a reason it's on this truck, the high mileage filter.
Yeah, she's got at least 225 left in it.
Someone color matched that, which is funny.
What?
Yeah, that's maroon. It was color matched at one point.
Oh my word. Mini truck life. Anyway, tires are mounted up, so we're gonna go pick those up in the man van and find something else to do. Enjoy some air conditioning in the man van is what I'm gonna do.
Go with the windows down. No need to get spoiled now.
All right, man, these guys were quick, reasonable. They got them balanced. Here we go. We got some Firestone Transforces on the front, and I don't even know what's on the back.
Longs on the rear.
For sure, Ling Long. Get one out of here. I feel like the name was terrible. The Terrain Beast AT by Lexani. Nothing but the finest here. 235, 85, 16 fashions. Hot damn, Theo. That thing looks good with some fresh rubber on the old Lexani's. Terrain Beast ATs on the rear and the Firestone Transforce HT2s on the front. I like a really good steer tire, and then, you know, since you got twice as many in the back, just throw whatever mediocreness on there. And let's be honest, these things are going to rot off the pickup well before I ever wear them out anyway. Hopefully you got this thing sold before we even get it home, but we'll find out. We'll see if we even get home. Maybe it'll just break down on the way and somebody will get a new set of tires. But anyway, tires are done. Theo helped me check out some lights. We're doing pretty good. Marker lights, chicken chasers. This fender light ain't working. And this tail light ain't working. Otherwise, we're sitting pretty good. I'm guessing that's supposed to light up as well. That one's lit up, so 3 lights we gotta fix. Hopefully there's bulbs, right, buddy? Wouldn't you know? Marker light hardware is Torx. You got any half-inch drive T15s?
Let me check.
We're digging in the junk drawer. Come on, T15. Winner. Yeah, the old, I don't know, Piggly Wiggly on that side fixed it. Did they rattle can the inside of that taillight housing? They definitely did. We need a 1157 on that side. The red marker light on this side had a LED that failed in my fingertips. We're gonna need a 194 on this side. What do they got, a 2507 in there? LL?
2057.
What the?
Don't look burn up though.
It don't. Dang it. We're gonna have to do some real repair work.
Maybe not. You just go home. Ha ha!
Fixed it. This thing rides so nice, it won't wiggle on the whole way home. We're good. Quits again.
This one.
Now this one dropped out.
It had a bunch of dirt on it, so I went like that, shut off.
I'll just avoid every bump on the way home.
I'm sure the highway patrol won't pay attention to you.
We're gonna have a U-Haul trailer with good lights behind it, so we should be fine. And a new bulb going in back there. Scratch that. We got to take this apart. Get a marker light out there. We got 2 on this side, 1 on that side. Anybody know what that fan up there does? That's for when you really get her heated up, kicks on that electric fan. Looks factory. And these things got additional oil coolers as well. Big block pickups anyway. All right, let's take this apart, see what we can figure out. That is bright. You gonna try to start a cylinder on fire or what?
Whoa! I should know. Try to punch a hole in that back bumper. Yeah, protect your hand when you do that.
Went through all that work, take that surround off, find out you can get right at the back side. We need an amber 194. So is that like a 194A? Oh boy. Oh boy. What's your plan back here?
Mount the floppy. Get the drill.
Walk around with the battery, no drill.
I'm gonna drill some, waller some, throw $1 at some.
Give a holler at some?
Maybe.
Just please wrap that wire right around the end of that bit.
We're gonna get a better bit where it really gets the wire.
Oh, that is professional. It's even almost straight. You see some hints of some old pinstripes back there, it looks like. Still no license plate light, but we'll worry about that later. One thing is, I don't know what size the hitches are on the U-Hauls, so I think we got to get this son of a biscuit off of here so that we can put the right size one on if we need to change it. It's 2-inch, which is probably what it is, but we might need a drop or who knows what else. So you got the reciprocating saw.
Universal key.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a real good size.
Yeah, it's not the right size anyway. Is that just thread in there? No. Oh, there's the lock. Nothing but the finest in Pot County. I feel like you could really beef this thing up and tie the two together. Maybe we'll talk to our fabricator, see what we can do.
Your shift knob.
Brap, brap. I was gonna say, should be welded to that. I need really beef her up. All right, I don't know a good way to test fuel tanks, see if they're working, because this has got dual tanks. Silly GM in there, right and left. Says she's on the right hand right now. In about 1/8 of a tank. Let's switch it to the left, see what happens. Nothing. I don't think it likes the left tank.
Turn it on and off. Nah, I meant like cycle.
See if you can listen for it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Here, I'll switch to the other tank. Switch it when it's running, see what happens. Oh yeah. As soon as I switch it, the tank goes up, or the fuel level goes up, but the fuel pressure goes down. Give her the old whack-a-mole.
Passenger tank it is.
All right, we're gonna see if our fuel tank goes up. Because apparently, if you only got one tank, somebody says you want the fuel gauge to work on it. I just want some free gas out of the deal.
Don't worry, I just drained this out of that old Thunderbird that had been sitting out at D&H for a decade.
20 gallons at 5 miles a gallon, 100 miles. That's only like 8-9 stops on the way home. Not bad.
You'll just be getting comfortable in them plush seats by then. You won't want to get out.
5 pulling a trailer with a box truck on it might be a little optimistic as well. Is it going up? I can't tell. Well, she drops off immediately when you go to the other tank. Oh yeah, she's going up. She's above a quarter now. I think these fuel gauges move even slower than the power windows on these square bodies, if that's saying anything. Oh yeah, she's going up 3/8 now. Oh yeah, she's at 3/8, so it's working. Don't waste all your Thunderbird gas.
Guess I'll walk to town and get some more. I appreciate it.
It's a good thing you got them comfortable walking shoes.
Damn right.
Skechers. New Balances were so 2022.
All right, first fill-up's on me.
You're a gentleman and a scholar. That should be almost enough to get me to the Loves in town. We should probably run this thing up in the air and check to make sure that we're getting voltage to that other tank.
I'm glad you can finally get the camera to turn on.
Well, we don't have rust to deal with around here, superficial rust, but structural rust like the fuel tank mounts.
Not a big deal.
That ain't going nowhere.
He's going nowhere. Where you going? Nowhere.
It's not like these things blow up on impact. So we gotta pull the fuel fill and the vent hose. There's a couple hoses coming off the inside of the frame here. Connector up there, fuel lines. Should be all kinds of fun. Good thing we got this nice lift. You look excited. Yeah, me too. We definitely should have done this when it was 66 degrees this morning instead of 90.
Ain't bad yet.
Ain't bad. Only 88 degrees room temperature. Wow, I don't know what kind of lubricant spray that is, but it is really amazing and smells even better. I give it both thumbs up. Woo! Really singes the nostrils.
What is that? It smells like a turd covered in burnt hair.
Is your sniffer finally working? You can smell it?
Apparently. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? I feel like you watched a lot of wrestling growing up, didn't you? You did, didn't you? Well, yeah, we lived in a single wide.
Yeah. What else do you do in a 1969 single wide?
Who was your favorite wrestler?
Undertaker, baby.
The Undertaker? That's funny, because that guy never said anything, which is like the total opposite of you. You were an Andre the Giant fan?
That's too old for me.
Andre the Giant?
You almost had it.
Oh,
You almost had it.
so good.
So good! Once it hits your lips, it's so good!
Got it.
There's one thing I do know about these trucks.
What's that?
Park and brake cable brackets are extremely strong.
Oh, you know what isn't real strong? When you lift on the fuel tanks.
I still ain't figured out how that one happened.
What are you doing, playing with Theo's lipstick over there? No. Such a happy guy. So, we got the tank dropped. Kinda. And I was reaching up to unplug some wires. And they just happened to unplug themselves. So, maybe, just maybe, if we connect those wires, the fuel pump will work. We might have to test them for power first. And we know they're not sending unit wires because sending unit seems like it's working.
Flip the switch and turn the key on.
See if we got power. You got a power testing device?
That'll do it. Those got ratified.
Yeah, there may be a slight rat problem around here.
Slow dramatic drop down to build the suspense. We should just pull the bed.
If only we had a lift to do all this work on.
Philip pulled the bed, then we could C-notch it, flipped the rear axle, slammed it.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Boy, they really nailed the nose on that artwork, didn't they? Just perfect. Way too many clean teeth. Are you huffing the fumes out of that sucker for a bump or what? I'm just hoping for a second wind.
I was thinking about having you stick your hand in there with a welder.
Put us both out of our misery right now.
I was thinking that when I was cutting that line right there for that hose clamp, that hourglass hose clamp that went to crowd. I thought, wonder if I could burn my hand up. I know we don't go to the emergency room because that's where you go to die in this state.
That's a fact.
That's where you go to wait to die. Going great. Everything's great.
Are you making love to it or what? Sounds like it.
And I'm done. No, that would have taken a lot less time. Did you eat lead paint chips as a child?
I don't know, but you sure know how to dirty up my floor. Jeez Louise.
Don't worry, we'll get Pepe the pool boy to clean your floor tomorrow too.
Is that what you've been calling yourself?
So now,
is it free?
well, there's one ground wire that might get a butt connector.
Splice in about 3 foot extra, that way you connect way down here. We're rooting for you over here. Sure sounds like a whole lot of not fun going on underneath there. Not too bad out here.
How's the leftover taco boy?
It's pretty good. You want me to feed you a chip?
No, I'm getting a full serving of rust flakes down here.
Mortske, 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 Mortske. Sounds like it's going real good. Did you get it? I was wondering if you're gonna milk that job for the rest of the day or not.
Well, I don't know what them cut wires were for. You got a ground, a gray, and a purple. I'm guessing gray is fuel tank and purple is fuel pump. So I wonder what them chewed off wires are for.
You don't need them where you're headed.
Yours doesn't beep?
If it's green, it's green.
Let's see if we got some pumping action. What do you think? Purple or gray?
Purple.
That's what I'm thinking. Must be purple, so we got some continuity through there. But when we send juice to it, nothing. So I guess we'll be popping her apart. Look at that double clamp action.
She's a hog.
454 things. This thing's just gonna be just
You want to tap that ring out with your best screwdriver.
icon. Give me your best pry bar. Ooh, it ain't all rusty, crusty, nasty.
No, it don't look bad in there. Pickup's gone.
Oh.
The hose. But
Remember, guess what we don't have? High pressure fuel hose.
That's what you don't want. But besides that, I mean, we just power probed it. It still wasn't.
Look at that. That's insane.
It's just got little plastic.
It just turned into Play-Doh. No bueno.
So, is the pump actually out? Huh.
We should have heard it running.
Yeah, we're... Okay, well, we were wrong. It was gray to the fuel pump for power.
So we should have continuity there. Give her the gray.
Not diddly.
I think we confirmed.
It has nothing to do with the bottom of it rotting off.
Hopefully the new one comes with one of them. Ethanol.
If you fill your tanks up with good ethanol fuel, you want to leave your vehicles to sit for probably at least minimum 5 years. If you can go upwards of 7+ is better for you. How's the tank look?
Looks like there's a big chunk of fuel Play-Doh hose. Fuel pump is back in place. You can buy a whole sender, but you know, this is what they had, so this is what we're using. Our ground hooked up.
Let's try grounding out here. Make sure we got continuity going through all of it. Going through all of it.
So smart. Gray, we decided. Oh yeah, sounds like a hot rod RC car.
Much more gooder.
So now we just need some high pressure hose.
Maybe get a chunk or 12 out of here, if possible somehow.
Out of the inside there?
Yeah. Did you get it already? That big piece?
No, definitely no. It's not gonna be a problem.
Here, let me just drop this big old screwdriver down in here.
Just stab right through it. Got it. Oh, yuck.
Luckily, this big piece I'm just cutting into a bunch of small pieces.
So we'll get through it.
Much more likely to get through that sock. Oh! It's like the claw machine, but you're out of quarters because I'm about to give up.
Puddin was saying that the previous owner said the sending unit didn't work on one side, so I'm guessing it's this side because the other side appears to be working.
They also said the fuel pump worked though, on both sides. So that don't mean it didn't go bad since then.
And maybe the sending unit fixed itself.
Always a possibility.
Yeah, now our fuel gauge is pegged on the right-hand side. Side that said 5/8 of a tank? That is not 5/8 of a tank. That is not a working sending unit.
More like T5s or T2.5s. We can take her apart and try to fix it.
The late model square bodies were built purely on Torx screws.
That looks pretty filthy. Give it the Mortske flick. That's all she needs.
Does it also work on sending units?
Nothing. When you're reading, nothing.
No continuity. Just hit it with a hammer. That'll fix it. You know, for all the crappy tools you got a pretty nice multimeter. I'll give you that.
Say we're not lucky enough for it to be a fluke.
Yeah, it would really suck to put this all back together and not have that working, huh?
So we're losing it between this to that. So if we can get that apart and clean it.
It'll work good enough to get it out the door.
Maybe.
Well, test to see if we got continuity between there and the black, right? Because that's where it should be. Sure enough.
So we're just losing it where it reads. So really, if we could take those two out, just clean all that up.
I don't even know if we got to clean it up. Just bend that arm up so it touches on it.
And just it's green and corroded a lot.
Stay tuned as we disassemble a sending unit, clean it up, get it all together, get it working, and then get 15 miles down the road and it never works again. Speaking of never working, this dog does not pull his weight around here.
Tough work. Someone's got to do it.
So basically all we got going on here is a wire wrapped around this piece of plastic many times, and as it goes from one end to the other, it has got more resistance because the wire's longer, and we're missing continuity between our lever arm and this wire here.
Now I understand why there's springs.
Do you though? You do have tiny little torques. Look at it. What happened to this one? Had to get in a tight spot, so you just whittled her down a little bit.
Oh no.
The old Craftsman T10 got shaved down. Went on a diet. Oh, this is a good one. USA even. Old one. Son of a. Oh.
She's thinking about it. You'll know when you're about half tank for a split second.
Put her up and down. See if... Wah. Yeah.
We tried the gentle version, now let's try the not so gentle version.
I bent on it a little bit.
More. I've been on it too.
Oh. Well then.
So saying it ain't working, so it ain't like we're gonna break it. Take it to the wire wheel.
And fixed.
I bet there ain't continuity from that to that down there.
Definitely not.
You just want me to call and order the other one real quick?
Aren't they getting one coming in the morning? Yeah, we told them to, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's all over the place, but resistance is resistance. And we're holding good there. About 45 to 50. Oh, no, we locked out. 45 point. Never mind. She's gonna read. That poor Gage is gonna be in there just giving it hell.
Except that spot. Or that spot.
It reads when it gets low. That's all that matters. Hear me out. Just right there.
Have at it. I don't know what you think you're doing. Well, since the sending unit is not working on the right tank, we're probably just gonna put a new one in the left tank because it's kind of on the fritz what we did there. And those tanks aren't much fun to drop, so we gotta wait for high pressure fuel line, hose, whatever. So we'll put our sending unit in tomorrow. Let's put a couple miles on her tonight. See what else we can discover, because I'm sure there's things. That's what happens when you buy from sketchy sellers.
Sketchy seller's gonna save you a gas tank bracket right now.
Oh, that's the beauty of stock height pickups. I could have just backed right over that. Check these brakes out. I don't know if it'll pick it up on the camera, but they're super grabby.
There we go.
Fixed itself.
I just needed pumped a couple times. Yeah, it never did that to me at all.
It like shook the whole suspension when it grabbed. We didn't get the steering wheel straight either, but it's straighter.
Close enough for alignment shop. Now, brakes are good now. Told you around here, nothing but the best.
Stopped at the old Loves here. Put 12 gallons in. Oh, there it went. And then it died.
That's probably whoever messed with the column.
There, didn't want to shift into drive. What a peach. What a mango.
What a mango.
I'm a mango! I think we'll do all right. Some people pulled up, walked up right as we pulled up and said, hey, you want to sell that? And I looked over at him because still ain't got a title yet. And I said, sure. And then they saw him and they're like, we won't buy nothing from that guy because they're locals.
Said they almost drove to Indiana to buy one for like 14. You should have gave them a price.
Think I'm gonna take a loss and I just pay 45 for this thing?
Since you had to fix a little bit, I'll cut you a deal. We'll negotiate off camera.
All right, we went on a, I don't know, 20, 30 mile loop around the countryside. We did not bring Theo with.
Should have.
The list got longer. The brakes are a little bit worse than I thought.
Ish. They'd make it.
They'd make it. You just don't have to stop between here and home. I do think they would make it. Dash lights aren't working. Yeah, a couple of little things, but it looks good. It looks good. There we go. I think we're gonna clean up our mess for tonight and put a fuel tank in tomorrow or the next day or never. Who knows? Listen to them frogs chirping out here. It's just got a pool full of them. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Theo, what did you find? We're gonna go to Daylight and get some donuts. Brand new tires, never had a problem. before. Now we do. So we got a leaky valve stem, leaky seat on the bead. Or did we pick up a nail? Either way, we got to pump up a tire and get one fixed and find a way to get donuts. What a great start to the day. God dang it. Spend a bunch of money on tires, getting them all mounted to balance. Now we got a flat. Such is life. So, I guess we'll take care of that. Carry on from there. Hopefully this is the last of the tire issues on this pickup. Really tired of this, aren't we, Theo? Good boy. Somebody likes to sleep in around here, and I remember seeing this 20-volt Milwaukee air compressor somewhere around here. Remember when we saw that thing, Theo? I bought him a nice 50-foot air hose reel that he hasn't mounted up yet. And I bet we could almost reach that pickup. I bet we could if he had her mounted on that lift arm right there. But we can't. And all we got is this little tiny whip hose here. About a 20-footer. And yeah, it's 10 foot to the door. So we ain't gonna make that. So we either need more air hose or we need a, there's another short little guy there. Did you find your bed? So we gotta find that air compressor. Or we gotta pull that wheel and tire off and drag it over here and pump it up, put it back on. That doesn't sound like any fun. I just need to use my brain power and remember where we saw that little portable air compressor. Dagnabbit. Well, Theo says maybe it's by the pool. You know, all these fancy people at their pool and their inflatable pool toys. And that's where Theo lives, is by the pool, so maybe that's where it's at. Can you believe I've been here, I think, like 4 or 5 times now? Never got a ride in that little international pickup. Because he never drives his stuff. Drives his fancy late models. Oh, good call, Theo. Good call. Right by the pool. Alrighty, see if we can figure out how to run this silly DeWalt. You know how to run it? You gonna show me? I only speak Milwaukee. I'm guessing we push the power button. Well, it says she's got 8 PSIs in it. So then does this turn it up? What a deal. Let's put 40 in there, because why not? What do you think about that thing, huh, buddy? Huh? Don't bite me. Oh, you like Milwaukee's as well? Yeah. Me too. Hey, it beats a hand pump. Don't get that the wrong way. See you in a bit. You gonna go with and get some donuts, Theo? Hey, why don't you take your air compressor back up to your pool, Hefe.
Don't you quit getting nails and new tires?
I kind of hope it's a nail. I'm kind of certain it's the valve stem or the bead. Theo, don't you dare pee on it to see if it's the bead. All right, let's see if she'll fire up this morning. Go get some donuts. Cajun pies. Daylight donuts is the thing to do if you're in town and the Taco Boy ain't open yet. Here we go. There we go. Fuel gauge is way over full. Oil pressure is pegged at 90. Dash lights ain't working. Minor details. Donut trip was a moderate success. No Cajun pies. No apple fritters. Things going downhill.
Shut the place down.
Bring back Terry. Got our wheel off. We're gonna hopefully get that thing fixed. This thing's warm. We got brake parts on order. So we're gonna check the wheel bearings too. Did you grab the donuts out of the back seat?
Why do you want them to check the wheel bearings?
Because it's...
We could cook a donut on there right now?
Ain't too bad. Ain't too good for no more than we're driving.
It'll get it out of your driveway. That's all you care.
Oh, I want you to make it at least out of Oklahoma.
Don't give us a bad name. All right, this has got the wedge style brakes. You got to take that Allen out, pound that son of a gun out. We're gonna get new hoses, calipers, pads.
Not rotors.
Not rotors. Those things are crazy expensive, and the replacements are not that good. So we'll have Mojo turn those on the brake lathe when we get home. They'll be fine. They only got 250,000 miles on them.
Start spinning it. You spin that side.
Funny guy. These brake pads are wearing thinner than my patience.
Thinner than my hair.
That too. Maybe even less. Going back to your DJing days? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna knock that dust cap off, pull this thing off. It doesn't sound that good. And it was pretty warm, so see what we find. Got our hub off. Ooh, a bearing packer even?
Nothing but the finest around here.
Red and tacky.
Like everything else, people got tired of seeing me do it with my hand and someone sent me this. I like this video. All we've talked about is every tool that people's giving me because they're tired of watching me struggle.
This is what I like.
I don't mind the struggle.
When you come to his place, you're like, man, look at that giant, nice toolbox.
It's because I got a deal on it.
Oh, hey, we found some tools in one of the drawers.
You gotta worry about outgrowing it, do you? Hell no, got plenty of room.
It's just for aesthetics. We keep sending him tools. We'll get it filled at some point.
Yeah, if we stay friends for another decade, I'll be set.
So it's got Timken bearings, made in USA. They look like they're in pretty good shape, but they do need packed. And so we got our fudge packer here. He's gonna take care of it.
I don't even know how to use this thing.
What are you talking about? Looks like it's been used. You're gonna need some pellets.
I go this Friday.
Friday is pellet day.
Mortske's watching. I don't remember.
I'm gonna film it.
Is that thread on?
I bet you put it in there and you thread it on and then you push it down. See, you've got a made in USA national, or is it a CR seal? It's an 8974. I think that's a national part number. Yep, that's a national. You're lucky there. It only pushed it. Did it go through all both sides? Both sides?
Yeah.
Through there.
Not as much through right there, but it did come out soon.
You're probably supposed to clean in your pressure washer first, parts washer.
Come on, I'm doing the dirty job. Why did I grab this?
Because you're micro.
Micro's the man. He's a man.
Oh man! Everybody's gonna be like, "What are you guys yelling at?"
Quit yelling, I'm a man. All right, she's packed. I'm gonna leave this extra dollop on here for you.
Dollop.
A dollop.
$2 Daisy.
For grease, this smells pretty.
How can you smell anything with your nose all plugged up like that? I'm gonna wait to tear the other side apart till we get parts here, so that way I know how to put this side back together, because I might forget. And I'm sure the internet has 0 pictures of dually front ends. Also, there's 2 different styles of brakes, so we got both sets of brakes coming. Neither of them will probably fit. Well, supervisor says get back to work. Parts ain't here. So-and-so's dropping the Cosby kids off at the pool, so I figured I can't sit around. Let's rip this side apart. And the retaining bolt that should go right there is MIA, so what are the odds that the O'Reilly's has one of those? I guess we'll call them up. I'll show you what it looks like. It's a little Allen bolt with a shoulder on it, like so. It's kind of a special bolt. I would imagine you could just put any 5/16 bolt in there. But you know, we try to do things right. And that holds that slide from going in and out, which holds the whole caliper, which I doubt it would ever fall out. It's highly unlikely that it would ever fall out, but you don't want that to fall out because that'd be a fun ride. So I'm glad we checked this out. I'm also really glad somebody said, oh yeah, that thing's pretty much just ready to go. Fabricators. I think it got better. Somebody did a Pot County repair. I'm gonna clean this up and show you, but things have escalated. And I'm disappointed, but I'm also impressed. I think we can fix it. But this is some Pot County stuff right here. I'll do a little cleaning for you. So there's this stopper here that slides in and out and keeps this from coming in and out, and that bolt keeps the slider from sliding. But look at this. Somebody determined they didn't have that bolt, so how did they fix it? I went to go hit this, knock it out. They welded it in. And not just a spot weld. They laid a full bead there and a full bead there. So, that's a new one. Like, really? You couldn't just go put a regular bolt in, or heaven forbid get the right bolt? Never mind having to put brake pads in or replace the caliper or pack a wheel bearing. We'll let the next guy worry about that. This is like some small used car lot stuff. I don't know that this is a deal breaker, but this is going to create some work. Hopefully we can still salvage that. Hopefully we can salvage the spindle. Great. Grand. Wonderful.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
Who does this crap? Sir, once you get done on a grinder, do you want to explain to me what you just sold to me? Taking my hard-earned cash? Bring your fruity cocktail over here.
This is a beautiful example of a 1991 R3500. This is front suspension.
So there's supposed to be a bolt right there that holds that slide in. What holds it better than a bolt?
A hope and a prayer.
Well, there's the hope, and there's the prayer.
And a weld. All the guys who have been like, that was the truck I fixed.
Right?
But Puddin got it for me.
Oh, as soon as I saw that, I thought, mini truckers.
Hey, Jared, get the nickel rod out. We're going to weld this keeper on.
And all they had to do was find a bolt. The bolt isn't even snapped off in there. And this is the side that really needs the brakes, too.
Well, all we can do is get her off there.
Isn't there a whole chassis outside we can steal? We can steal a spindle off if we need to.
Nope.
Dang it. We weren't supposed to tell him about that. Oh, this is terrible, Theo. Terrible. I'm just going to start calling you Leo because I keep calling you Leo anyway. He don't care. It's probably not his real name. His real name's probably like Rex or Beast or something.
We can cut this one. And then if we grind that one down and get it real thin, we should be able to.
Yeah. And either of them, like the critical dimension, engineering terms, you love those, is on the top side here where it rides there. These two, not so much.
Oh, we're going to create some new critical dimensions here.
Yeah.
When we start cutting.
The good news is if this wheel falls off, I'll just go into oncoming traffic.
No big deal.
Did I say 40 foot? We might as well make it a 48-foot trailer. Quad axle.
Y'all ain't ever changed brakes before? Pot County brake job right here, baby.
I love how Pot County could turn a brake job into a fabrication job.
Here at Puddins Fab Shop, I'd sell nobody a vehicle that I would not service myself.
Chances are, if you got a not so good one, you got it from Puddin.
I'd have to park it and market on this thing for your channel.
Did you want brakes? No problem.
That's got to be really close to being willing to tap off there.
I would say it is.
They did a pretty good job.
They did, or you did?
I did. We're not gonna get too carried away here. I mean, that's good enough.
Look at that pad. If it had rivets, the heads would be gone. Oh, there's that play. We're playing the tie rod end over here.
All right, let that rust over like the rest of it.
Can you imagine being on the way home, wheel bearing goes up, but like, oh, not a big deal, just fix wheel bearing on the side of the road, and see that and be like, all of a sudden we need a cordless grinder to do a wheel bearing job.
A little flash rust on that. It'll be like it never even happened. Luckily, no critical areas were affected.
Is that how you marketed this the first time? Just welded it and then flash rusted it? Be like, nobody will even know that brake caliper's welded up.
I didn't think we ever got into there.
We're bouncing around more than the Pod County legend here. Fuel pump's here, so let's stick that in there and sending unit and get this fuel tank in there while we're waiting for brake parts. Are you kidding me? Just dropped it in the tank and it's deeper than our original one. I think these pickups, you can get a 16 and a 20 gallon tank. And we probably got the pump for the 16 gallon, for the 20 gallon tank. This might be 16.
Is it not the same?
Why does that not go? Seems like it's the same depth.
Pretty dang close.
We'll try it again.
It was the installer.
I'll push harder this time.
Can you get the hammer?
That time it drops right in. I must have been caught on that lip on the inside or something.
They call me Hammer Hard Henry. Let's see if you're paying attention to that. See if I can get you for two.
That ain't going nowhere.
On these, I don't know all of them or even the factory one. I've noticed on these I've been replacing lately. You definitely want to hop from tab to tab because they build them when there's so much play in it.
Yeah, the rings are definitely not as big as they should be.
So don't stay on one and try to force it because you'll be fighting it. Just hop back and forth.
You'll just be fixing it later is what you'll be doing. 3/8 their pressure. I think 5/16 their return, and this 1/4 inch is just a vent. So you gotta have 3 sizes of hose on there. We're gonna leave these long, and we'll cut them to fit once it's in the rig. Set this over on our fuel tank stand. Lift the truck up. Wait, it slides right in. These bolts, they're not fun to drop these tanks, and they're even less fun to reinstall them. It's a lot easier on a lift than it is on your back. Now we get to wrestle that in there. Oh, I'm gonna take these old hoses off first. And then we'll leave the other hoses long, hook them up, wrestle it in there, try to fish these bolts in without any room. Hook the fuel filler neck back up and plug in our wiring, be good to go. We still didn't figure out where that wire that was chewed off by a rat was from. We may never know. We could use some wire cleaning upage. Look at this guy out here just doing box truck things. Living the box truck life. Go check it out on his second channel. Excellent carburetor tunage right there. What a guy. Lets me use his lift so he can lay on the floor. That's what friends are for.
I just had to inspect these and make sure there's no welds on them.
You know what there's also not in them? Fluid. The shop inspector likes laying on the floor too. Never mind that nice cozy bed you got over there. I can't find absolutely anything in this guy's toolbox. Look at that, he's got color-coded, easy to read, magnetic toolbox labels. I'm sure somebody sent them to him. All right, I think we're ready to slide a tank in. Maybe. No brakes? No problem. Oh, is that why you're working on brakes? Because you're going to use it for yourself? Because if you were selling it, you wouldn't touch them.
Getting it ready for a tug-a-thon where we're going to pull against each other. Never mind. Never mind.
No tug-a-thon promotion going on here.
Scratch that.
Tug-a-thon, what did you say earlier? You're good at stretching hose. Fuel tank is in. Set her down.
Pinion seal is out.
And see if it'll run. Yeah, it ain't that bad. Good little differential fluid flush. I've never seen a chrome fuel door. And to be honest, I hope I never see one again. Key on. Fuel tank to left hand. Maybe it's got to be running. Maybe we'll cycle the key. Maybe we screwed up the wire harness for all the fuel gauges. We got sold a lemon. The good news is it runs on the left tank. The bad news is fuel gauge sucks. 2 fuel tanks, no fuel gauges.
Track the mileage of the first one till it's empty, and then you'll know.
When you're about to run out, and then you'll wait too long.
No, you wait till you're about 60 miles. Don't play with it too much. Just 60 miles out on the other one, then you fill them both up again.
We should have just slammed it back in last night if we'd have known this is the fuel gauge. We'll look at the wiring down there a little bit. Maybe we can figure something out.
Lunchtime. That's what we figured out.
Taco boy.
Bellies are on E.
All right, you talked me into it. Taco boy. Now it's nap time.
Yeah.
Before we did go to Taco Boy, I was tugging on this last night, and that was when the fuel gauge quit. So sure enough, we traced
tugging on it.
The wire back.
Then it started reading empty.
I was tugging a little bit hard. I emptied anyway. So we found the wires up here, and I think that's for this connector is when you got a single tank instead of a dual tank, but we're gonna crimp that wire on, and then it's gonna be good to go. Or it won't. And then we gotta tie up all these wires that I took down in the process. But our parts shipment arrived. We got brake pads, calipers. Guess what? The calipers come with new slides and bolts, hoses, wheel seals, an amber 194 bulb.
Guess I'll put my welder in it.
Yeah, we won't need to do any welding. So I'm gonna knock some seals in. He can probably handle a butt connector. What are you giggling about over here?
The direction it's gonna have to run. Our only option, because it's the only way we can pull out on it to crimp it. So we're just gonna have to.
You know what we could do? Disconnect that connector and then route it around it.
Over and.
Wow.
Oh, engineering.
Look at me solving problems.
Next, world hunger.
World peas. All right, we got most of the brakes together. We got calipers on, pads, brake hose on this side, and that's where we hit a snag. Somebody returned a hose and put the wrong one in, so we're waiting on a hose on this side. And then we also figured out why they welded that slide in there. That bolt is snapped off, so we gotta try to get that out of there. We did get our tire back. It was leaking from the valve stem, so we got that fixed up. Then look at this guy. He's got his Pot County run stand ready to go.
Motorized wrecking ball. Ever seen one?
This is gonna be
Look at this.
interesting.
That's how you get zapped right there.
That's a nice plug wire. A solid core, nonetheless. And they're mismatched. At least they didn't like red plug wires, so they spray painted them black. What a deal. HEI Quadrajet. It'll run. We got a newish looking starter. Just gonna send it.
I don't know, I just woke up from a little nap. It's a little dark, but you guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
So we gotta wait for brake hose to show up in the morning, and then hopefully set this thing on the ground. I think we know we got our fuel pump working. Our fuel gauge should be working now. And we should be ready for a test drive again, but better.
Going live. Just idling.
Do it again.
You a little rowdy or what? Are we running her again?
Nobody's got hurt yet.
That's the spirit.
Oh, you can't slow it down quite enough to idle. Hit her again.
Sounds like motorcycles. Oh. What do you mean you ain't happy?
Ooh, that's a new one. Did you check to see if there was oil in it?
Nope.
Yeah, about that.
It's a cord motor.
Well, I mean, that may have ended our fun.
That didn't end our fun.
Well, this fun.
The starter's ending it.
Did you see that the valve cover is rusted through?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when the blow-by smoke comes through the rust hole in the valve cover. All right, we're gonna go eat some steaks and lay by the pool and do what Puddin does every night. And we'll get back to this tomorrow.
The servants should be here in another 20 minutes.
What's the head servant's name? Rupert.
Rupert. They'll make sure the dance show, we got dancers coming tonight before they serve the caviar or whatever it's called.
It was jesters last night. Dancers tonight, apparently. Comedians all the time. Before we shut her down, I got the master over here. I don't know if we can weld a nut to that, because he is a fabricator. Or if we should try to drill it out. Or we could always just weld it back in place. We got options.
Bang. I was hoping we'd get lucky because there's pretty good ledge there. And you'd be surprised at how well that'll spin a little piece out of there. We're just not lucky enough for it to work on this one. Also note, yeah, be careful trying to weld to that though, because we know this will weld. Not real welding the best because we got grease and crap on there we're gonna have to burn off the first time or two. I can already tell you that didn't bite for diddly. Alright, we got a little bit of stuff broke off of it, where now maybe it'll start to weld. I think I had luck already. Second nut. Oh, it was almost out. Oh man. And it just broke off. There she be.
All right, brake hose showed up today. Got that installed. We got our bolt installed. The caliper can slide back and forth. You got to have that. So if your rotor's warped or as your pads wear, it can slide back and forth. So you want to make sure that that can slide back and forth. Otherwise, you'll wear out your rotor on one side or wear out your pads on one side. Got these bleeders cracked. We'll let her down, fill her up with the fluid. Hopefully it'll gravity bleed. The way everything ran out and onto the floor, I feel like it should gravity bleed really well. Even though gravity bleeding never really works for me. We did check. Fuel gauges are both working. Fuel pumps are both working, so we're getting there.
Bougie truck, fuel gauges work. It may stop.
It just has taken 2 days worth of work.
Somebody did an excellent job at getting that extracted.
Yeah. Almost as good a job as the last guy did of welding it in place.
Can't even tell if we were ever there.
Did you put that on the video that they had the right tool, just not the know-how? Yeah. We used the welder to get the bolt out. They used the welder to hold it in place.
They were almost there. You almost had it.
These cross members just hold everything, and it's full of brake fluid. So we'll wipe that out of there and straight onto somebody's floor.
Good paint removal.
All right. We'll get these bled and put the wheels back on and ready for another test drive.
Ready to go North Dakota.
Get out of your way.
What's this?
Don't worry about that guy.
Oh, that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
Yeah, it should plug in somewhere. Don't worry about it not.
I gotta tighten that bolt holding it to the upper control arm as well. Dang, we got a stream coming out here. Spent 3 days in Oklahoma, now I'm talking like it. The old gravity bleed never works for me. About 2% of the time it works every time, right, Theo? All right, I'll clean up this mess, waiting for the other side to run out. And then hopefully we could throw some wheels and tires on. All right, we are in the dually, and things are working good right now. As good as they were before. We did have a slight hiccup. Slick and I and Puddin went out for lunch, I don't know, yesterday, and went to Gooser. At the only stoplight to Tecumseh. If you've ever been there, you know where it's at. This thing died. We thought, it's low on fuel. I had a brand new fuel jug I bought up the road at the local hardware store. Slick ran up, good guy, hot as the devil's taint. Not Slick, the weather. He got that thing filled up with gas, brought it back, dumped it in, still nothing. So he ran to his shop, jumped on his bike, BMX racer that he is, rode back, brought us some tools. We cracked the fuel lines on the TBI because Puddin thought it was airlock, nothing. And we cycled it between tanks. We knew that tank was full and this tank was getting pretty close to empty. And then Puddin was like, you know, it's funny how we lost both tanks, both fuel pumps all in one shot. He's like, it's gotta be electrical. So I crawled underneath, look at the fuse panel. And here in the ECMB port, there's a resettable breaker in the fuse. And it looked like the black pin was popped out. Sure enough, it was popped out. I pushed it in. Cycled the key. We had all kinds of fuel on the TBI, so we tightened it back up, lit her off. It's been working good since. Fast forward to today, we got done shooting our video today. The old truck guy and Puddin, and so we're all scrolling through our phones, mainly me. And I see this 65 Ford short wide. And I've wanted a 64 to 66 short wide for a while. They just don't show up at home. And 63 on down's got the wrong boxes on them. And I don't like red, but she's red and white, looks pretty decent. So I messaged the guy, pretty fair price, 6-cylinder automatic, weird combination. Turns over, says it, says it turns over, so it should run. So anyway, Puddin had to go get his pellets rammed in. Old truck guy had to go pick his dog up from the vet. So I'm like, hey. Called Slick. Slick's like, I'm watching my kids, so here I am. I stole. Puddin's like, yeah, I suppose you need a truck and trailer. I'm like, I got the truck, man. So I stole his trailer, and we're headed to the big city of Henrietta, Oklahoma. Never been there. Never been down this 9A. I think we're on 270. I don't know, something like that. But it's about an hour away. We're gonna go there, check it out. but the funny thing is the guy goes, I said, yeah, I'll be there in about an hour. He goes, you're not Mortske Repair, are you? And me, being the idiot, I'm like, never heard of it. He goes, LOL. He goes, I'd be a lot more agreeable if you had some Mortske and some Puddins shirts, but I got his address, so I could probably send some shirts his way. We'll figure something out. But anyway, I'll keep you posted. I wanted to tow something back with this thing, and just couldn't have that advanced design. I like it, but I already got one at home I should do something with. We just did a 66 Chevy pickup, the old truck guy, and it's a pretty good truck, but I already got one of them at home, and I got White Lightning as well, and it's, you know, let's get something new. So, we're going to get something new. Something old, but new to us. Alright. Check back in a couple minutes. I'll let you know how she's towing. The trailer's still back there. It's hard to see behind these big hips, but we'll see how she's doing. She ain't overheating. And maybe oh, this is Earlsboro. I have been here before. Earlsboro. Talk about a solid name of a town. Henrietta ain't so bad. Tecumseh, Shawnee ain't bad, but Earlsboro just sounds as redneck as they come. They got a tag agency here.
Turn left onto East Street.
Give you an update in a minute. Alright, we just coasted into Henrietta. This thing's running like a champ. Got a lot of fuel. We burned just about a half tank of fuel getting here. 10 gallons, 50 miles. 5 miles a gallon, yeah, you know, big block things. But it's got gobs of power. Granted, we are pulling an empty trailer. It's got an amazing stereo. Terrible cruise control and AC because neither of them are functional. She's running about 150, 160 degrees. Rides like you would expect it to. Not terrible, not great, but anyway, I'm gonna go find this place. We should be here in a couple minutes. Just taking in the countryside. They got these things called trees and hills here. It's pretty great. Alright, check back in a little bit. Oh, look at that cool old gas station. DX Detail Extreme. That is neat. All right, we made a deal. I suckered him into thinking that I'm not a millionaire, so he even gave me a little discount. He's got some stuff. We got boats. We got like a 64 Falcon Futura. He's got gasser plans, a Denside short bed he's had since like 77 with some turbines on it. He's got the Clark Griswold LTD station wagon, some Mercedes diesels, a little red express truck. She's a little rough for us. He was gonna put a Mercedes diesel in that. And yeah, anyway, let's get her loaded up. Also suckered him into thinking that I can drive. All right. Got a nice big yard to turn around in. Well, it's tight, but he's got a big loop. He says, don't let me park in the runway when we unload it. We had to get him off his trailer. And yeah, had a title even. She's signed, notarized, ready to go. So, I'm gonna put Puddins' trailer to the test. See if we can get this hot rod loaded up. Ooh, stopped just in time, almost got his canopy. These silly trailers with ramps, I tell you what. Well, thanks for the help, pup. He had a factory Ford Indy wheel that I need. He said he's got a set, but he don't want to get rid of them. He had to take that off of here, so we got to fix that at some point. But we are on the trailer, tied down, ramps put away, straps not flapping in the wind. I'm a chain guy, but old Puddin had straps. So that's what we're doing. Got a little whammy in the door here, amateur paint job. We'll take a look at it when we get home, if we make it home. I feel like this thing's probably not gonna drive home. I feel like this thing's good. I need to get something to drink. It's too hot here. Too hot for me in Oklahoma. And the bad part is it's only like 2 degrees cooler at home. And I know it's the humidity, but we got that at home too. This boy, he's got a tight driveway. We are loaded up, headed home with Big Booty Judy here. Instead of a will it run, it's a will it tow. He brought me out of water and some hand wipes, so we kind of got our mitts cleaned up in that water. I pounded it. I'm gonna go grab a couple more, and we're gonna go whatever way it is back home. I think the sun's over there, so we gotta drive westward home. All right, I'll let you know what she does. We got about a quarter tank on the right tank, and we got a full tank on the left tank, and we got a 2 gallons in the 6-gallon jug in the back left from the Will It Run today. And we got like 60 miles to go. So, I mean, if we burn that much fuel, I need somebody to sponsor you. We're on a ridge here in town, and it's got just this 3rd Street. Just a beautiful drive looking over to the town of Henrietta down there. Pretty great view up here. Alright, he gave me some spray, some bug spray to put on. Apparently chiggers are a thing down here. I heard of people getting chiggers in like the lakes and streams back home, but I never heard. He said it's a thing in the grass up here. Hopefully I didn't get none. It's taking everything I got to not pull in every yard that says garage sale, because I love me a good garbage sale, even though 99.8% of them pull to is just kids' clothes and crappy old exercise equipment that's hardly got any miles on it. But sometimes there's some good old proto tools in there, maybe an old snap-on toolbox or Blackhawk jack. You never know until you stop. But you gotta sift through a lot of garbage before you get to some good ones. We're really testing them brakes out on these hills. Again, like I said, you got these at home. Alright, hope that thing stays on the trailer. I'm sure it will. Alright, home stretch, we got, I don't know, a mile or 2 to Puddins' place. We're on the back streets. Anyway, only issue we had, she's running 150, 160. When I go to flip tanks, I got down to about 1/8 of a tank, and I was on the right tank, and I flipped to the left tank. She died on the interstate. Heart sank, knew what it was. Flipped the breaker on that ECM B fuse thinger bopper dealy, and fired right back up. But as soon as I tried to flip it to the other tank, it kept blowing it. So I left it on that left tank, which now we're running on the anyway. When you flip tanks, it blows the dang fuse. So we got to figure that out. Otherwise, we're going to be stopping for a lot of fuel. And now the gauge is not working. It's sitting on E, and I just filled her up. So I couldn't tell you what we're getting for mileage, how bad it is. I probably burned a full tank because it took a half to get there and more than a half to get back. So we're going to have to look at that. But I haven't wanted to touch that switch because I got Puddins' trailer, and we got a dead pickup there. So we need 2 pickups and another trailer to get all this junk home. So just cross your fingers and hope for the best. But yeah, I'm excited about the running cool part. And like I said, we got a 6-gallon can on the back. If I gotta stop every 50 miles on the way home and get fuel, it is what it is. But other than that, brakes work good. Stereo's bumping. She rides a lot better with a load on the back, that's for sure. So now we got to round up, get ourselves a U-Haul trailer, because I'm guessing he's not going to let me take this one. Or I can leave this thing here, which would be the point of that. It does have kind of a stumble like he was talking about. But only did it right there. It's never done it any other time. Ooh, there's a 69, 70 GTO turning into his neighbor's place. I saw it peeking out the other night. He's like, I don't know, I've never seen that one. But anyway, that's the only issue we found so far. Not in his butt this time. He took it in his back. There it is. Anyway, we're just noticing the electric fan is actually running. No, I think that's factory. That's the engine oil cooler, I think.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, as soon as I pulled in the yard, I tried flipping the tanks, and she died. and we got no fuel gauge. Cycle to the left side, right side, no fuel gauge. What side was it running on? Left side's been giving us issues. Nothing. Is our breaker tripped? Yep. Now let's cycle the key. Fuel gauge ain't going. Oh, it's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Just kidding. Trip the breaker. Yep, as soon as you push it, she trips. Flip her to the right. Now push our breaker. Fuel gauge still ain't going up. But our breaker ain't tripped. Will it start? Yep. So somewhere we got too much resistance, Theo. What do you think?
It's pretty good. I know everyone in Pot County was jealous as hell seeing this setup coming through town.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you get a lot of thumbs up? Oh, you did. Whether you see
I was going so fast that they couldn't even tell.
They cut thumbs up because their jaw was just.
It's a good looking setup with everything all together like that.
You should probably just leave it here.
All right, so watch. We'll flip it left hand. Kills her immediately, and that breaker will be tripped.
So that valve probably feeds off the same setup as well, right?
Yeah, why wasn't it doing it before? I'm trying to think. I think we were running on the left-hand tank when it died that day, though. We're driving it around because we didn't burn a whole tank, but now it's been working great off the right-hand tank.
Oh, I remember, because the ignition switch was so sticky and I couldn't kill it. I wired it up to there, fail safe.
Yeah.
Can't turn the key back, you can switch tanks.
Theft proof. They can only get about 50 miles away, tops, because that's how much gas you can burn on one tank.
How'd you do on fuel?
I don't know, because the gauge quit working. It was at 1/8 of a tank, and I flipped it, and it died on I-40. Oh. My heart sank, and I was like, but I know what it is. So I was like trying to reach it. I was like, man, this thing will coast for a long ways when you're doing 80 mile an hour.
Pop rep and neutral.
Yep.
If you would have had someone to steer, you could have got.
Oh, you can't quite reach underneath there. I was like, we just need to like a reset switch up in the dash. All right, you want to watch the most boring stuff in the world? How long we been at this? Half hour?
A little longer. I appreciate the optimism.
So anyway, we're messing with the selector switch. We're messing with the ignition switch. We're messing with the wiring back here. We unhooked the selector back here. We unhooked the pumps back here. And we did way too much research on the internet, which actually he found a pretty good schematic.
Got a perfect diagram here. Had to understand what was going on.
So the selector valve has got a power and a ground, and it sends the ground to one tank and the power to the other, and then flips it over if you really cared.
The selector switch does that, and at the same time it uses reversing positive and negative to shift the valve, and when that shifts, it also shifts a switch in there to choose your sending units. That's how that shifts.
So we'd flipped that. We unhooked the fuel pump on this side, and we flipped it over, and it kept flipping that breaker. So we knew that it was up there. We found another connector at the firewall. We could power up the pump from up there. So then we knew that it was between the switch and the firewall. Long story short, we found out where it rubbed on the engine or the exhaust manifold.
This sucker right here.
She's in bad shape.
So both them wires, one's a driver side, one's your passenger side, and that's what you need to give 12 volts to turn your pump on. But with how that switch works, as it sends 12 volts out to the one you want to power up, it's actually sending a ground to the other one. So those rubbing ain't gonna cut it. But with those separated, you can power one pump or the other pump. But when they're touching, you're gonna be popping fuses.
So we're just gonna throw some electrical tape on it and send it, and hopefully it doesn't die on the side of the road.
And if it does,
just kidding. Don't call me.
If it does, you know where to check.
How's your weather pack connector selection?
Pretty slim, as in none. You may just want to cut the head of each side and twist them together and taper up and fix it in the future if there's enough slack here.
I'll be sure to send him a weather pack kit as well when I get home.
So this right here is why they had the resettable thing in there. They were probably periodically tripping it.
Fighting this, yeah.
Got tired of it. We'll just reset it because sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And a little bit of troubleshooting, you can start to eliminate it where you have to find it.
It was a bit of troubleshooting. And I don't think either of us can take all of the credit because it was a joint effort.
Gotta put 2 half brains together, get one full one
I
sometimes.
don't even know about that. All right, we're gonna plug it back in and do some playing around and see if we can figure it out. We still don't know if the gauge works. So this is for the pump, but we don't know why the gauge dropped out. But
I haven't looked at the schematic enough to figure out how that would cause that as well. But
I feel like it's related.
Yeah, we're gonna go one issue at a time here.
All right, we got them wires spread apart, and sure enough, both pumps work, gauges all work. Dude,
Little victory dance.
don't pull anything. Don't pull them stitches out.
Be shooting pellets out my back.
See if you can get Theo to do a dance.
He's doing the play dead.
He's good at that. Hey, buddy. He's like, you want to go for a ride? I thought about taking him with me, but I'm like, man. And then sure enough, that guy had dogs. I'm like, glad I didn't.
He's dangerous. We were like, well, you can take him for a ride. I'll tell you why. He thinks he has to be in your lap, like bad. And he's fairly strong. One time I thought we were good. Paws up, just there on the edge, head on the lap, whatever. I'm cool with that. I can pet him and drive. He just got this urge real quick, sent us across the road, almost killed us. So he wants to be paws on the wheel, in control. Too big for that.
We got to clean up the mess we got underneath the dash here. We rip that all out because what a pain to get these selector valves out of here. So we got to put that ductwork back up there and tie some wires up.
That's funny. I thought you said we.
Yeah, me.
We, and
me. The guy who sold me this thing really gypped me. All right. I'm going to pick away at this a little bit and call her a night and save some for the morning. But you can't guess where we are. Norman, Oklahoma. Getting ourselves a U-Haul. Should be fun. No glitches this morning. Just a nice smooth sailing down Highway 9. The worst stretch of road in Oklahoma. People driving 40 mile an hour. Turns, hills, no way to get around them. Yeah. Oklahoma Highway Department, you need a 4-lane setup on Highway 9. Alright, look at them gems all lined up. We gotta pick 5 of them suckers. They probably got one assigned for us, I'm sure. Alright, in and out in about 15 minutes. Pretty good line on a Saturday. We're in Norman, college town, so there's a little bit of a line, but I reserved ahead of time, and you can set your pickup time. They'll give you $50 if your stuff ain't ready. So, do it online, do it ahead of time, and make sure your lights work on your trailer. They check your blinkers, and they check your brakes. They don't check your taillights, which I...
Morning, darling. Good thing he didn't find a long bed Fred. He'd be in bad shape because that baby just barely sits on there.
You gotta run it all the way up to them stops.
The bar, right?
No, the front.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was stopping them at those bars for some reason, thinking, I ain't using my brain. Yeah, we gotta come way up here. Yeah, makes a little more sense to bring her up to the stops, I reckon.
I was like, man, you'd never get a long bed on here because the way it was. I was like, I swear I've shipped long beds before.
For some reason in my head, I was thinking stop at that little bar. Yeah, I like how you're like, they made these things dummy proof. Anyone can load them. And then I stop you at the wrong spot.
Barely holds a 94 Ford Escort GT that we told him.
Did you tell him that you knew me at U-Haul? You didn't get the sucker for free?
If I'd have told him that I knew you, that'd have been like, we're fresh out of mini box truck, sorry. All right, we got her all cinched down. This thing came with some bucket seat center console, terrible conversion van thing back here. We're gonna throw that right in the dumpster. Oh, custom made with the cup holder and the ashtray. Plywood. It's in bad shape. It's not the right one for the pickup. An old Puddin, Papa babysitting Uncle Sir Jacob Puddin was gracious enough to give us his dumpster. So I bounce it off the side. Here we go. Even got a core battery, a wheel chock, and some rubber floor mats. I'm guessing those oak leaves are gonna fly out on the way home. All right, gonna button up a few things and head north before it gets too hot. What is it, 9:30 this morning? She's already getting sticky. All right, give her one last look. Look at him over there, what a goon. Wants to give me a hug at the driveway, weirdo. All right, let's see if she starts. Let's see if I can't run into the dumpster on the way out. Woo, barely. Good thing about rented trailers.
Make it out of Pot County, don't call me.
Y'all come back to here. All right, we're at a jump start here. The last free exit before getting on the Kansas Turnpike. We're sitting at an 1/8 of a tank on both tanks, so good time to fill up. It's cheap here, $2.75 for 93 octane. Giving it away, but I heard it's like $2.89 or something back home, but that's for like 87 or 89. Dang, check out the cab over Freightliner. Anyway, this thing's just sailing down the road. Wish we had cruise control. We'd probably be getting a little bit better mileage. The fuel gauge like sticks at certain spots, so I was like, oh man, just hanging out at half a tank, and all of a sudden, boom, it's like dropped below core. I was like, oh crap. But we got that 6-gallon can back there, so oh, this guy's gonna be disappointed when he finds out that we stole his handle. All right, hopefully we can keep track of mileage and we'll see where we're at. All right, we're at the Sack and Fox truck stop. Just put 29 gallons in. And yeah, we got a wheel seal leaking. She's all over the tire, all up in the wheel well. They ain't got no 80-90 here, but they got 30 weight. So I bought a crescent wrench. We're gonna try to shoot some 30 weight in that diff, or at least check it, because I don't want to put a wheel bearing in or a pinion bearing or any of that. See what we can do. Hopefully it's just full. There's a little bit of grease coming over the trailer. I was hoping it was just a wheel cylinder, add some brake fluid and call it good, but no, no such luck. But ooh, I should eat my lunch first. Got myself a cheese and salami sandwich. But let's get this swapped out and then go wash our hands and eat lunch. We maybe had lunch a couple times already. The good news is she's pretty much right to the top. That little bit of oil makes a mess. Bad news is these guys got a flat, so maybe we'll give them a hand here. All right, we did our good deed for the day. I'm gonna go wash my hands, get some ice cream. I think I earned it. Well, I guess the wind blows in Kansas too. The gentleman serving up ice cream said Tiger King was the way to go, so we got ourselves a waffle cone and an extra scoop. I'm a sucker for ice cream. Here we are, back on the road. Well, same to you, horsey. That guy goes, what do you do? I said, I make YouTube videos. I said, I'm filming you, gonna make you famous. He goes, you know what I do? I said, I don't, but I'm willing to hear it. He says he's an auctioneer. So we're at the Sack and Fox Casino. I don't know what the name of the town we're by is, but we're like 20 miles from any town. Houghton? I don't know. Anyway, you've probably seen him around if you're into auctioneering. He says he goes in about a 200-mile radius. Dang, I'm sweaty. All right, we did our good deed though, so I'm a firm believer in karma and helping that nice couple out is gonna give us a good safe trip home. All right, we got about 8 hours to go. See you guys in a bit, probably the next gas stop. Hopefully no breakdowns. I love ice cream. It's a mess. I don't care, it's so good though.
AC turned off now. Can't reach it on that side. How cool are those fender lights lit up though? Been trying to roll that window up over there for the last 5 minutes. Pretty slow going. Guess we're gonna try out the wipers. We're getting into bug country now.
Would you look at that sunset? Just get to the Vermilion exit. I know my truck. We are sitting on E. Hopefully this is the last fill up of the trip. Rain came down. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but got a little bit of rain. Drove out of it right as we were getting into the old sewer city. So yeah, home stretch, I-29. Stop off with some petrol and grab a snack and some water, refreshments. Hammer down, get back to Duff. See what we missed out on. All right, we are in Brookings, South Dakota at the Walmart. Slight delay. We don't have any trailer lights, and I wasn't too concerned about it. But the state trooper who pulled me over, we also don't have any dash lights. The super nice state trooper who pulled me over doing 93 miles an hour. Well, I guess the old 454's got a little too much sauce. Whoops. He said, I can't let you be on interstate without taillights. So, we're gonna go into Walmart and we're gonna get a battery and we're gonna throw in this pickup on the trailer and see if we can't get some lights working. Because I don't want to get a hotel room and I don't want to hang out in the pickup until 6 a.m. It's like 11 something now. So that's like 7 hours lost. And I don't want to get pulled over again and get in trouble because he was super cool. He knocked it down to 5 over, which is still like 97 bucks. So yeah, 93 mile an hour on the old big block toes. Real good. All right, let's go get ourselves a battery, maybe a power. I don't know even what to look for tools or where to start or where to look. We can always use a battery. So if you want to be a battery sponsor or a speeding ticket sponsor, hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com, or go to mortske.com. You can be a battery sponsor. Yeah, 93 mile an hour. I laughed when I was like, shut up. He's like, nope, 93. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, I was just keeping up with traffic, and there was no traffic to keep up with, so here we are. So it turns out Walmart closes at 11, and it was like 10:58, so got in here, got some wire, and a battery, and a couple of clamps for 111 bucks.
Have a good night.
You as well. Thank you. You locking the doors behind me?
Yep.
Ah. So good thing we ran as fast as we did, 93 mile an hour to get here. Ooh, long box. All cleaned up. Good looking 99 to 06 GM. I think it's a GMC. Anyway, I think we're gonna make the lights work on the trailer with this battery. I'm just gonna run a jumper wire from the box to the battery. Anyway, the battery's going in the box. Show you in a minute, but bought that chunk of wire and we're gonna go from that battery and we're just gonna stab it in that connector and hopefully make this work. Also, apparently the little stabby light things are obsolete. I couldn't find one of those. A test light. I wanted a test light. No test lights. I am the smartest man alive.
I am the smartest man alive!
The only thing is, we could backfeed the pickup. Here's what we got. A couple battery cable ends. They got this roll of trailer wire, like 25 foot. I thought, I could run it all the way up to the pickup, but anyway, we got a new battery, group 35. Wedge that in there, and then we wedge that in there into the plug, so our brakes should still function. Like I said, the only thing is we could be back feeding up there, and if we've got a short somewhere in the trailer wire for the pickup or the taillights for the pickup, could be an issue. But anyway, we got trailer lights, so we are on the road. I can see those in the mirror, so I can make sure they're still working. Let's get the French out of South Dakota. Everything's methed up here. They're on it.
I'm on that.
Let's get home. I should probably tie this wire up so that it doesn't drag on the road. I'll know if it does, and it's definitely not going to pull that battery out when it does. All right, we are back in action. This thing's lit up like a Christmas tree now. Our dash lights are not lit up like a Christmas tree, so we're gonna have to throttle her back a little bit, tone down the tunes some. How do we get out of this parking lot? What a joke. Oh, one more thing of note before we get on the interstate. The guy came up on the passenger side. I was like looking out the driver's side for him, and all of a sudden I see the light come in the passenger side. And when it started raining, I could not get that right window up until we stopped, and I had to go and help it up. And so he's like tapping on the window, and I'm like, dude, sorry, it's not gonna happen. So then there's this bunch of like trash and stuff over there. You probably thought I was cracking like everybody else in this state, but no. This guy was like the coolest guy ever. We were cracking Super Trooper jokes, and I told him what I did and what was going on, and he's like, so no, you bought that one from Oklahoma? And I'm like, no, I bought them both from Oklahoma. And the trailer has Kansas license plates from U-Haul, but the trailer shows up as being registered in South Dakota. It's just a disaster, but it's funny. All right, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing so I don't get another speeding ticket. Can't afford another one. Dang, I was hoping you could see the lights on the trailer. You can around the big old hits on Big Booty Judy here. All right, we got like 45 minutes, and we got like 2.5 hours to go, so we're gonna be coasting in about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully Duff's closing the bar down, he's still awake. All right, 2 a.m. made her home. I'm gonna unplug my lights here. Dang, that's a good connection. Got it. All right, let's see if the Duff missed us. Buddy, did you miss me? Did you miss me? Just been hanging out with Bob? Yeah, I missed you too. I missed you too. Who's a good boy? Who's the goodest boy? All right, you go do your thing. Then it's bedtime. You'll have to check that out tomorrow. I'm checking out. That was a long day. So what's the next day? As you can see, we got the F100 unloaded from the dually here. I'm gonna throw some of these 40 Ford wheels into my stash that Puddin was so gracious to give us because they weren't good enough for him. We never had to use the race jug on the way back. I'm gonna have to get a hold of O'Reilly's because the fuel sending unit that we put in this thing sticks at like 5/8 of a tank. So that left tank's got to come back out, which sucks, but the bracket, as you remember, the clamp was rusted out, so I should fix that anyway. So hopefully we can get a new sending unit to put in there and fix that bracket at the same time. I'd like to clean up that fuel pump wiring. Somebody had been digging in there before trying to figure out that issue with the fuse. That being said, I put a 10 amp fuse in there, ran the whole way home, no issues. I fixed the dash lights by wiggling the headlight switch, which I tried before and it never worked, but that would have saved me $100 if I would have known about that earlier. $100 in speeding tickets. And we got to fix the taillights on the trailer harness. I got to fix that connector, that GM weather pack connector at the firewall, so that never ever have issues again with that, blowing that ECMB fuse on the fuel pump wiring harness. I got a list of things. This window doesn't even really like to work at all. This window is super slow unless somebody's pulling it. I'd like to tint the windows, but I'd like to get some center caps, nicer ones for the rear, and actually get some for the front. I'd like to get the cruise and the AC working. The AC is missing the rod to the throttle body, so I didn't even try messing with it. So I'm sure it needs some work there, and then it probably needs that switch on the dash, or the multi-function switch. The wipers act really weird, like they're on delay and all of a sudden then they go fast. So I don't know if there's an adjustment there. The headlight switch needs some adjustment. The ignition switch needs a little bit more adjustment. So I got to do a bunch of adjustments on the steering column. These cup holders are way too big for anything other than like a full-size porcelain coffee cup, so we need to modify those. Dang it, somebody got chocolate chip cookie in my seat. Duff hasn't ridden it yet. I'd like to put a carpet in it. Puddin thinks it needs a dash pad. I think the dash pad's just fine. I'd like to put a stock mirror in it, just because that one irritates me, and these aftermarket ones vibrate a little bit. Yeah, other than that, those seats are in pretty good shape, and they are uber comfortable. The only thing that sucks is the seat belts. When you go to hook your seat belts, these things just like push back. They don't have very good seat belt holders. I got to figure out what's leaking over there. I think it's an axle seal because the brake fluid did not go down. Yeah, so it needs a few things, but she's a pretty good rig. I think it's like 800-900 miles to his place. We went to Henrietta to get that F100, and then I went to Norman to get the trailer and back. So I mean, we're well over 1,000 miles that we put on this thing, so this thing's it's pretty good to go with the new tires. It's got good brakes up front, wheel bearings are packed. She's ready to roll. If you want to own this thing, price and availability in the video description. You could fly into Fargo, we'll bring this thing up to you, and you could drive this thing home. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to make it, but it's a pretty dang good chance. I mean, over 60%, depending on where you live. If you live in Alaska, it drops down to 57%. If you live in Hawaii, it's nearly 0% that it'll make it there. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty good rig. I like it. This thing's got smoke, as you can tell by the speeding ticket, and it rides good with the long wheelbase. I think my white one rides just as good, or maybe even better. I already got one of the 8.1, got one of the 6 liter, the 454. It's good, but I got about 8 miles a gallon. I checked it out. Not great, not terrible. And like I said, we were running her hard and we were pulling a trailer, so 454 life. I'm very appreciative it's got an overdrive. That makes it a whole lot better. Yeah, I don't need 3 crew cab dualies, but if nobody buys it, we'll hang on to it. I feel like this one isn't going to last very long. Puddin, when he said he was selling it, I'm like, of course I wanted to hang out, and I was like, that's too reasonable. And I should have just let him sell it to somebody else, because I stuck another 1,000-ish. Well, by the time I got tires mounted and yeah, I stuck over $1,000 into it, probably like $1,500. But it's a lot better rig than it was when I got it from him. Did he screw me over? No, definitely not. We're buddies. He gave me a pretty good deal on it, and hopefully I can pass it on to somebody else, and somebody else will treat this thing with the love that it deserves, because she is a good rig. I love them alcoas. I love the two-tone paint. The big block's good. The overdrive is good. Like I said, air, cruise control. It's gonna be good. It's got a killer stereo. The stereo is so good. Needs some sway bar bushings. Yeah, I would run this pickup hard. And if nobody buys it, save this one, because if nobody buys it, I'm gonna notch the rear. I'm gonna put the same flip and bag kit as LS Juan has, the Cowboy Cadillac. I'm gonna put some spindles in the front, drop her down, and enjoy it. Oh, it needs tailpipes. Totally fine for anybody else, but I just hate when guys dump them on the rear end, and it's probably gonna add more heat to the rear end that's already seen a bunch of heat, and it's probably gonna take out that pinion seal and whatever. But if I lower it, then we'll have to tuck the tailpipes way up there like Boom Tube did on the Cowboy Cadillac. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Check out our merch. It's people buying merch and doing stuff like that. We got banners, we got can koozies that are magnetic, we got all kinds of screwdrivers, we got ball caps, sweatshirts, t-shirts, we got coolers now. Get your own Mortske cooler. Folks who buy that stuff is what makes it so that we can buy stuff like this. We don't buy this stuff because I need stuff. We buy this stuff to make content for you folks, and it's pretty awesome that we're able to do that. So I appreciate everybody who's watched, and I extremely appreciate everybody who's bought merch, because without folks doing stuff like that, we would have to do boring projects of mini trucks week in and week out and putting boxes on them and stuff like that. But this way we get to drag just new hot garbage home every week. And so if somebody buys that hot garbage, this hot garbage, we can buy more hot garbage. So Duff, tell him thanks. Thank you. He says, thanks for coming home and hanging out with me. And there's a big old wood tick on your face, so I better get that off there. And it's probably several more on me now because of him. All right, see you later.
Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
So Duff thanks you, I thank you, Chin thanks you, Mojo, from everybody here at Mortske Repair, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate what you guys do, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do the awesome stuff that we do. So we got plenty to do here. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you very much. Remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun, hanging out with your buddies, Bahan, cross country, buying more junk and big block overdrive crew cab dualies. Real fun until the state patrol pulls you over. All right, on to the next one.
No, mine's not in. Dope. Yeah.
Pick that up.
You don't have to throw that out there, Jim.
But you could. Put that at the end in the blooper reel.
For proper and clean installation, we'll always install with Puddins Looby Dooby. Now all we need is one deep breath and she'll be where she needs to be.
All right, let's go finish those projects.